Anthony. I'm the media marketing guy here, and it's kind of hard being a guy, living a Coke life in a Pepsi family. And I'm a big fan of Coca-Cola, original taste, original flavor, and let's just be honest, the red can looks way better than any Pepsi can could ever look. So, big fan. I don't really know what's going on lately because I put my Coke in the Pepsi fridge because it's a fridge, right? But then I keep walking back out and I find that my Coke's on the floor. So I don't know who's taking my Coke and throwing it out, but it's not cool. And yeah, I don't like that.
Go to newair.com and use the code Levi50OFF to receive $50 off your very own Pepsi Throwback Fridge.
Well, this is inconvenient.
All right. Are we live? Tim, holy smokes, we're live. So, obviously, you're probably wondering where half of the team is right now.
We also don't know.
We really actually don't know.
Well, actually, I know where Levi is.
Oh, we really?
Levi
Okay.
went to return the Jeep that we used this morning in the video.
Oh, yeah, that was a thing.
He probably took it off-roading.
That was a thing. Well,
Yeah.
I guess to give you guys a proper intro, welcome to Q&A Thursdays, where every Thursday from 3 to 5 p.m. we answer your detailing questions.
3
and
o'clock and we're already live?
We are,
Isn't
yeah.
it a crazy
We're
day?
on time.
My gosh. Must be nice, to be on time, be able to make it.
How was the ride with the Jeep?
It's a wiggly, very
Yeah.
wiggly.
That was a very jiggly
It's a very
vehicle.
jiggly Jeep. Morgan, could you pass me one of those bottles of Diet Pepsi out of the
Of
Pepsi
course.
New Air fridge? Pepsi Throwback New Air fridge.
Here you are, Levi.
Thanks.
So,
If you want one of those, Morgan, just go to newair.com.
Yeah.
$50 off. If you use the code Levi50OFF, you can put one of those in your bedroom.
I would love to do that.
Crack
Well-
a cold soda or some Chipotle mayo
whatever,
spread.
whatever you may be in the mood
No,
for,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So basically, here's the deal, guys. We have Yvan Lacroix joining us for this week's Q&A Thursday. So now is a great time to answer, to ask all questions. We have the Lake Country Udos here on the table,
Exactly.
which is
the
amazing.
And this is actually a production model. It's not a prototype. It's serial number 00007.
Wow.
Oh.
Nice.
Wow, that is. We're excited. This is crazy to have this here. So
It's a really cool machine.
So we'll be able to kind of show people how to how to set it differently and how to turn it through the different settings
Exactly.
here on the live. And so if you have any questions involving this, now's the time to ask, as well as asking about foam or anything else. So we have Dane's still on the way, but I think we're probably going to jump straight into this as he
Yeah.
would have wanted.
Now,
Yeah.
Morgan, one moment.
Yeah.
May I have 3 cans of Pepsi, please?
3 cans. Would you
Yes.
like regular or?
It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
to elevate my mic.
Oh, I see. I
nice.
see. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's use regular Pepsi because no one actually likes that apparently.
That's not true. Dane loves
I
regular
like
sugar
how
Pepsi.
Thomas drank quite a number of those Diet Pepsis.
Right.
Has not replaced them.
No, he did.
Oh, he did. Okay.
He brought those,
Those mini ones are.
but he
from
brought in
Thomas.
mini cans.
He
so
said that
he
they're
drank-
gonna
Is this better?
grow.
Yes. Okay.
he drank.
Yeah,
Oh, he
that's
said
much
okay.
better.
So what do we
He
do to
said-
make them grow? Just keep them in the fridge.
I think we just
you
keep
water
them in the fridge,
them?
maybe water, fertilizer.
Okay.
I don't have any Pepsi
those
fertilizer.
I like to refer to those cans as mostly just shot glasses of Diet Pepsi.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
That's
Correct.
about.
They're
Hey,
the gulp-
Dane's finally made it in at with 2 minutes to spare before he's late.
No, you're late when you're not 15 minutes early. That's how I grew up.
All right. So now, without further ado, we're going to start jumping into some of these questions. As some people know, the first half is all question-based. Some questions will kind of trickle into the second half, but then the second half is more free-form and more fun to joke around and lay out all of our inside jokes.
So we'll leave the Udos description until the second half.
There you go.
All right, so we have MMA Card Guy says, just purchased my first Big Red Sponge. How do I clean it, and how do I keep my O&R mix for multiple weeks? Also, to use O&R for interior, what's the dilution, and can I add something to protect at the same time?
Yes,
those are all-
yes, and yes.
Yeah. So, Ivan, you want to handle that?
Well, yes, as the inventor of the Big Red Sponge, it's my fault. But cleaning the Big Red Sponge, first of all, you're in the O&R solution, just keep it in there. When you need to clean it, get a bit of power clean, spray it on, massage it in, get it in there nice and foamy, and then rinse it out until you have no more foam. Absolutely no foam. You'll see what comes out of your Big Red Sponge. It's actually a little worrying, disturbing. That's thank you.
Yes.
Great word, Morgan. So from there, as far as keeping your Big Red Sponge, just keep it in that solution. Now, if you're not using your O&R solution every day, you may actually want to take the Big Red Sponge out, let it dry. It's not a big deal. Now, it's better to keep it wet if you can. As far as keeping your solution over multiple weeks, yeah, it depends what you're washing. So when you're in the pollen season, and we're getting close to that season, at least here in Boise, because people were complaining of allergies yesterday, so we're getting there. With the pollen, what that does is it creates bacteria in the water, and the water is going to start smelling a little off. So you may want to actually reduce your mixture. So instead of mixing up 5 gallons of O&R, just mix up 2 gallons of O&R. Okay. And you're not going to be reusing it. As for interior, if you want to protect, very easy. Mix up a gallon of O&R, a gallon of water, half an ounce of O&R, and then your interior protectant of choice. Now, Wowo's has one that I think is a great choice for that.
Interior finisher.
Yeah,
I haven't actually tried this combo yet.
Okay, but from the smell of interior finisher, that's one I would like on my interior, and I would go about 4 to 8 ounces into that gallon. And it's not something you want to spray. Again, I don't like spraying things on interiors. Soak your microfiber towel in it, and then use that to clean and apply at the same time.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. So we have Jeff C. says, I just did back-to-back O&R wash and waxes. Washes on my car, washed weekly, and my wife's wash maybe monthly. Used OptiSeal as a drying aid. My wife's car has only ever had OCW and OptiSeal and dried. Much easier than my car did. Mine also has a base of OptiSeal and OCW, but I've alternated with Beadmaker and Woe's Quick Detailer over the last 8 months or so. How has too much stuff built up, and if so, would Power Clean 5-to-1 and the IK foamer be enough to strip off the protection and start fresh? I would say based off of everything you're saying there, you might have something built up too much because, I mean, depending on when all those things were applied, but it already sounds like you have 4 or 5 different things going for you there. So Ivan, would Power Clean 5-to-1 and a foamer be enough to strip some of that?
Yeah, so the spray it on the IK foamer, the best way of doing it, by the way. The IK foamer is spectacular for that. When you're done, make sure you don't get it too much on the glass. If you do get it on the glass, quickly wipe it off with a damp towel. Let it sit on the paint, not in the sun. Yep. And then rinse thoroughly. Okay. Make sure it's out of there. Make sure it's out of the cracks. And yes, it's going to sort of dull the paint, and you're going to kill any beading. The other thing that might be happening with your vehicle versus your wife's vehicle is simply contamination. It might need to be clayed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it could be even with all that protection, it can still be contaminated. So
Correct.
we have Lawrence Gambell says, "Hey from Australia, guys. Love the Q&As. I'm usually at work when they're live, so I catch up via podcast on my commute and to and from work."
Nice.
Well,
Awesome.
thanks for
Lawrence.
joining us, Lawrence.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
And then Dan Pfeiffer, of course, without skipping a beat, word up from Minneapolis. Should you do a coating over trim that has been restored with solution finish?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Allow
Just-
the solution finish to set at least for 12 hours.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Manuel Casiva says, "Hello from Mexico.
Well, hello.
How is everybody?"
Hey, hey.
I think
We're
we're
good.
doing fantastic,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We've
We got a little
we've
sun today. It was nice.
yeah.
It was nice out.
We
What
got
was
to
that?
play with a
A bunch of Jeeps.
brand new Jeep, a 50-year-old Jeep, a 60-year-old Jeep,
Yep.
actually. Yeah.
60-year-old Jeep.
Yeah.
So a
Pretty
lot
awesome.
of fun. Garage Logician. Q for Yvonne. I became a big fan of OPT products because of you and TRC. Now that you aren't at Optimum, do you still use OPT products, or are you branching out? How do you compare O&R to McKee's N914?
asking the hard questions.
Also-
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Also-
Getting straight to it.
Yeah, so yes, I'm no longer with Optimum. I retired from Optimum. I am not an employee of McKee's, but I do like their products, and I'm using them more and more. The synergy that I was used to with Optimum, at McKee's, they call it synergistic chemical compatibility. A little harder to say, but it is there. Now, the N914, if you're used to using O&R, close your eyes, it's the same thing. The only difference with N914 versus O&R is it keeps your wash media actually cleaner.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's good to know.
He also wants to
yeah.
know if an enthusiast wants to get a car coated, should they DIY with something like G-Technic CSL/EXO, which is 2 different coatings, right? So that'd be laying crystal serum light,
Yeah.
And
topped
next,
with EXO. So
yeah.
it's a 2-parter. Or is OptiCoat Pro Plus still a better product worth paying someone else to install? What do you think? Because
Yes.
my rule of thumb would be like, it'd be better to, if you don't know how to install a coating, you're probably better off, especially one of those that's a little harder to do.
Yeah, if you want one that you can do yourself with negating the possibility of risk or reducing
Right.
the risks, gloss coat is one of them.
Yep.
Yep.
McKee's 365 is a very nice one as well.
Okay.
CarPro 110
Yeah.
is a nice one as well. So there's a number of coatings out there that are more user friendly than the ones you said
and
there.
honestly, if you've never tried, you can just do G-Technic EXO
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
as a first one. See how you do.
Yeah.
Because that is a 2-year coating
By itself.
in the vein of everything else.
Yeah.
CSL is just a 5-year. It's a little difficult. So they're basically they're doing CSL and then doing a top
Yeah.
layer of
Yeah.
EXO for gloss.
And what the professional coating will do for you compared to the home applied coating or the do-it-yourself coatings, longer durability, sometimes a little bit more beading, and the prep is usually, that's where the difference is in a professional coating.
Yep.
That's what you're paying for. It's not necessarily, you're not just paying for the coating, you're paying for the prep.
Yep.
Fletcher says, "Greetings from Whidbey,
Ooh, Whidbey Island.
Whidbey
Yeah,
Island,
I know where
Washington.
that is.
Finally have a Thursday where I'm not cleaning cars but working on my own 89 Dodge 1-ton van."
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Oh,
And a
beautiful.
Ram van.
And of course, making time for the live Q&A. Well, glad to
Ram
have you
van.
here. We
Are
have,
you putting some shag carpet in there, Fletch? You get a little platform bed back there, maybe adding a water bed in the back.
It has
Ooh.
opera windows,
Sounds
right?
pretty, yeah, probably some opera
Yeah,
windows.
yeah.
Maybe a couple candelabras on the inside.
Ooh,
Yeah, that's
Huh.
cool.
Very
Mhm.
nice.
I like
yeah.
that.
Gotta have shag.
Yeah.
We got Bait Addict says, "Sup, baiters?" And
Hey.
so,
Sup, Bait Addict?
And we got Tug Banker. It says, "Ivan, can you give any insight on the new coating that Optimum is coming out with?"
Unfortunately not.
Okay.
Don't
all
know
right.
which one he's referring to.
And we
either.
have Jeffrey Manrique says, "Classic Pepsi move right there."
Oh, they're probably talking about the ad they saw. Yeah,
Yep.
Is that ad still going?
I had Tim
played
play a
it
different
earlier.
one this
We
time
played
for
the
fun.
Coke one this morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or this
And we
one.
got, Coke is not cool in a Pepsi fridge.
Yep, those are my boys.
And then Bait Addict says, "Hi, Ivan. Since O&R actually has real science that encapsulates dirt, What makes other rinseless washes comparable? I thought those washes just have tons of lubrication, but do not encapsulate in parentheses McKee's.
Yeah, some of them do have that, such as McKee's. Others don't. A lot of rinseless washes are soap-based. So if you can, there's a gentleman here that always wants to foam his O&R.
Luke's Burger.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Luke,
Yeah.
we don't have your comments yet, but I'm sure you're watching. But anyways, if Luke wants to foam, there are some rinseless washes out there that foam, and they're soap-based. And you'll find that they actually leave a residue on the surface.
Because they're soap.
Exactly. So do a trial. The best thing you can do is do testing yourself. So buy some O&R, buy some McKee's, buy some other rinseless, and split up your vehicle into sections. And repeatedly wash those sections with the same product. And you'll see over time how it changes, how it reacts. Doing a wash once is not a good test.
Yeah.
Well, as an example of that, we did remember when I had my Volvo, we did the P&S Pearl on it, and we showed the different ways you could use Pearl. That is a soap, but as many people found out, you could do a rinseless style wash with it, but once again, it's a soap, and when
Exactly.
you do a rinseless style wash
Yep.
with a soap, it's a little bit different than
And-
when you're
and
trying
we-
it with O&R.
And we
Yeah.
stated that. We said that
Yeah.
it's if you have a coated car, it works just fine.
Yeah.
An
There's a
uncoated car-
noticeable difference when you do it on a coated versus non.
we would recommend to just use O&R. We wouldn't recommend to use that for
Yeah.
that situation. So
Or other non-soap based.
tug
Here we go. Tug
Tug.
Banker says, Ivan, is there a replacement of the Optimum clay mitt since they have been discontinued?
There is one coming.
Just keep your ears peeled. That's
yeah,
all we're gonna say.
That's all I can say. But yes, had a hand in designing that one, and I have a hand in designing the new one. And yes, it's coming.
All right. Riley says, how would you handle the different types of stains on a headliner without damaging it? Levi.
Great stuff. So you can use a number of different products. I like just using O&R. Hot O&R is a great one. Then adding, or just using interior cleaner. If you use the Volvo's interior cleaner, another great one. But the easiest way is to just get the towel damp and clean and wipe the headliner. With a warm O&R, I just soak a towel in it, wring it out, and wipe the ceiling. With interior cleaner, I just spray it on the towel, try and get a good damp section going, and then clean the surface. Both products aren't going to stain or discolor the headliner, which is another reason we like using interior cleaner because it is clear.
Yeah.
And they're not going to leave a residue that's going to attract dirt.
That either.
Right.
So they're both really great for that. So those are the two things that you should be able to get pretty much everything except for the human hair that was stuck in the ceiling and the headliner of Dane's
Montero. Yeah, that was
So-
pretty gross.
Formerly Dane's Montero.
Formerly
Oh,
Dane's.
yeah.
Now it belongs to
Who
the
knows?
junkyard.
We got Dino Grahovic says, hi, greetings from Austria.
All right.
very
Wow,
cool.
amazing. Says, wondering if you have heard of FinLab headlight ceramic coating.
Oh, I always
No,
pronounce
Fine
it
Lab.
Fine
Self-healing.
Lab.
Fine
Fine
Lab.
Lab,
Sorry, Fine Lab,
self-healing ceramic coating. Yes, Dino, we have one of our good friends, Sydney
Did I
Gwynn.
say headlight? What the heck was
Sydney
I
Gwynn here in
saying?
Boise, Idaho, is actually a Fine Lab installer.
Correct, yeah.
And installs that stuff. So yeah, we are aware of it.
Yep.
Delphine, hello from sunny Martinique. Guys, how would you rejuvenate wheel woolies? You can't wash them in a machine. Some very good brands still get a little beat up and stiff. Delphine, you're probably just going to need to give them an old style laundry machine wash
Give
setup.
them a couple whacks,
Where
really.
you're just kind of, shoving them in some buckets and just trying to
Churning.
to-
You're
them
churning
like
butter.
You're basically, that's what
Find,
you're doing.
find a
Or-
birdhouse with like a
Yeah.
small, opening and just, run it in and out a few times.
Get a wash pad or a washboard, slide it in there.
No,
you're
no.
basically gonna have to,
Nope.
Not ready for that
do
half
like
yet.
do
Oh,
like
that's just me. Okay.
yeah, or go like Dane and take them down to the river and wash them and beat them on some rocks over there.
Yeah.
Singing
Old school.
singing some old
Yeah.
songs.
Tidy
Washboard.
Car says the Udos.
Mhm.
Yes, it is here. It is in
Yes,
front of
yes,
us.
yes.
It is a real thing. G. Davis says, do we waive the joke rules with the Prince of Boise being absent?
I
Retract.
noticed he retracted immediately.
He was late, not absent.
That's right.
Future Prison says, hello there, TRC crew, and hello, Ivan. Hello, Future Prison. And Levi, I'll let you take KM.
Oh, Carl, Yvonne, hello. Any opinions on Rupes foam pads versus Lake Country foam pads? What would you recommend as a Lake Country, an LK alternative? I'm assuming it means Lake Country.
Yeah.
Alternative for the Rupes Yellow Fine foam pad. Thanks.
Okay. Well, the Rupes pads are great pads as well. I happen to prefer Lake Country, just me. Other than that, as an alternative, on a long stroke DA, the HDO pad, black, is a great finishing pad.
Yeah.
And
If they're looking for a direct comparison between the two, I'd pretty much put them towards the orange.
yeah, exactly.
From the yellow Rupes.
Because it's like
Yeah.
the do-it-all
the
pad.
orange HTO
yeah,
is a great. The foam consistency is very similar.
yeah. And if you're wanting a thinner pad, the force pads actually work well on a long stroke DA too.
Yep. And if you want to go even thinner, you go to flat foams or CCS in orange.
I like
Or
them.
you can buy the Lake Country, aka Rag Company waffles.
Yeah.
We
My
also have
preferred
those.
pad.
Great pads.
Yeah.
Big Addict says, Ivan, I noticed when I foamed Power Clean at 3-to-1, it didn't strip much at all. Should I be using it straight? When rinsing the foam off, the car's beating and sheeting was the same.
At 3-to-1 and he still wasn't? Wow.
It depends what you're trying to remove.
Yeah.
First of all, yes.
Clear coat.
It's strong stuff, man.
No,
At 3-to-1, it's still pretty potent.
prior to a coating, I foam it pure.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Carlum says, "Hi, Anthony. Hey, KM. What's going on? You called TRC and had to talk with Rebecca this week.
Nobody has
face.
to talk to Rebecca. Rebecca's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, Rebecca's fantastic. You know, she can actually take a joke just as well as I can, but
True.
I just keep in mind, yeah, don't go crazy. Bait Addict says, also, I can't really avoid not getting foamed Power Clean on the windows, so what would I do regarding that?
Clean it off.
Very easily, damp towel, wipe it off.
Or grab a squeegee. Squeegee the foam off. Bait
Yeah.
Addict.
Yeah.
Go to Home
The other
Depot.
thing is,
get one of those
Get-
great window
get one of
cleaning
those
squeegees
window
like you
cleaning
you
solution
got.
packages,
Yeah.
and you're
Just-
good to
yeah.
go.
and the
foam off.
reason on the instructions it says not to get it on the glass, it's not that it damages the glass. If it dries on the glass, it creates a stain that
Hard
you
to
need to
see through.
reactivate with more Power Clean.
Gotcha. Okay. Danny Israel says, how should I apply crystal sealant in sunny Central Florida? What towel or an applicator? Does applying with a foam cannon shorten longevity? And should I do an IPA wipe first? Thanks. Well, Danny, so here's the deal. I actually had a conversation with a couple different people, and so did Levi. I did about crystal sealant. So if you're in the sun, try to get somewhere in the shade if you can. Don't
Yep.
try to do this in the sun. It's just going to be a pain. Basically, we recommend doing an applicator method if you can. Spraying on is fine, but you're going to obviously be, once you spray it, you're spreading in product with the towel initially. Why not just spread it from the beginning and then knock it off with a towel? So basically, use a foam applicator. You can use a 3x5, you can use a 2x4,
Yeah,
whatever
you
you
can
want to
use an
use.
eagle. You can do whatever you want for
And
your application.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Yeah,
'cause
don't get ahead of
crystal
yourself.
sealant has some pretty strong resin in there. So basically, do a fender, do a third of the hood, do whatever you need to do. But basically, spray it onto the applicator. You don't need a whole lot. Wipe it in. You'll start to see it wipe in. You'll start to kind of see it cross-link.
I
and
mean,
then once-
literally, once you've wiped it, if you just apply in a fender,
yeah.
you spray it on that pad, you apply it on the fender, and then you come back
With a towel
immediately
and
with a
wipe it
towel
off, yeah.
and wipe it off.
And it's pretty you have that instant gratification of it being slick right off the
Yeah.
bat.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Again, it's just an extremely
tough.
Now,
durable
Yeah.
sealant.
and yes, you do applying it with a foam cannon does shorten the longevity, but I will say you do need to thoroughly, straight power clean,
Prep the surface, yeah.
clean that foam cannon afterwards.
yeah, oh, yeah, oh,
no,
yeah,
as I
yeah,
say,
yeah.
don't let it sit in
It
the foam
clogs
can.
it up.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah,
so
it is not
uh,
good. So
do that, and
Ba-
then but yeah, wipe
yeah.
IPA.
Jeez,
Sure.
I'm already thinking like sunny day. Should I spray this on here? No, don't do that. Do it in a nice shaded
do it in the
area.
evening, man.
Um,
Wait until
And
nighttime.
wrong answer.
Yeah, so we got Marty P says, personally love Aerospace 303 for an interior and engine bay dressing protectant. Just leaves everything looking as new and UV protected. Would that work with O&R? Never tried or thought of mixing them before for that purpose.
You can give it a try. I've never tried that as well.
Yeah.
The best course of action to try that is first mix your O&R.
Always
Yeah.
mix the O&R first
First, yeah.
before adding it. I
Yeah,
did
get
it the
the math
opposite way
right.
once.
And you got sort of the Jello floating in the
Yep.
water. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, it looked like a bunch of rubber cement particles that were blue.
That's a good way of describing it. So yeah, mix your O&R first, make sure it's well properly mixed, and then add your 303.
Yeah.
But it should work fine.
how to make rubber cement.
Yeah.
All right. So getting into this, we have Carl M says, I even questioned about O&R wash and wax. How can you tell if the product is expired? I've gotten some off-color pale bottles recently from Amazon.
It's because you're not buying them from the rag company.
Wow.
No, seriously. The color changes constantly on the mixture. So
Yeah.
they're water-based formulations. The dyes are water-based as well. So they're going to be changing colors on a regular basis.
It's not a stable thing, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
I mean, we could go down and look on the shelf, and it's the same story.
yeah, we've had some mixes of O&R where it was like blue, and we're like, well, this is a very vibrant blue, and we've had others where it's just kind of a very dullish looking blue, but they've done
it's
the
a
same
newer
thing.
batch, and it looks that way. So you're
Yeah,
like, okay,
they've done the exact
it's
same
the way it
thing.
is.
Yeah.
So we have Bait Addict says, use coupon code 50Levi to get 50 off Crystal Sealum Light. Get it?
Da-da-da.
Nope, he doesn't give any discounts for his
Yeah.
detailing services.
Crystal Light.
TJ Powell says, hi from Twinsburg, Ohio.
Actually,
right back.
if you use a coupon, actually add $50.
Oh,
Yeah, because it says, wow, we're going to punish you.
Yep.
all right, go. So Levi, go ahead and jump in.
Bait Addict, by the way, TRC team, Ram at Color Lock refunded me for Leatherfresh, even though it had already shipped and they didn't even ask for it back. Amazing service.
Wow.
Ram's
Man,
a good dude.
Ram's the best.
Yeah.
Ram
And
is
I talked to him this
a
morning.
great person.
Had a great conversation with him.
Did
Such
you?
a nice way to start the morning.
Honestly, I would love to start every morning with just
Just a chat with Ram.
just,
right?
chat with
just
Ram.
a chat with him. Like we have a cup of coffee and we just
Yeah.
kind of BS for like 3 or 4
Yeah,
hours,
yeah, it's great.
and then we get our day started.
I was like 3 or 4 hours. That's like the whole morning.
Anthony, it's 11 a.m. We have to.
Yeah,
get
we're
to
gonna go to
work.
now. We're gonna go have lunch with him.
Yeah.
Adam Hugh. Oh no, Delphine. Anthony said several times that applying Beadmaker too often was bad. It streaks. What do you think about Matt Mormon's habit to rotate with ammo hydrate for drying aid? I don't think it's wrong, Delphine. I don't see any reason.
It's just at a certain point, it's diminishing returns. Is all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's no wrong way to detail a car.
No.
Yep.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you're washing the car every single day and you're applying Beadmaker every single day, like Matt does, then yes, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're washing every week, every 10 days, then you don't need to worry about that.
Well, so like
Yeah.
I've told people I've told many people this, right? That because I had the Beadmaker addiction bad, like what well over a year ago, right? Where it's just hitting really hard, and I'm just
Oh,
like,
you
oh
were-
my god, I'm
You were
just
putting Beadmaker on everything.
I-
You were like, it got so bad. Katie had to tell you to stop putting Beadmaker on
She
the
did.
nightstands.
she did.
Yeah.
She's like, please stop spraying the dogs.
That lamp
You were
isn't going to
like-
get any brighter,
Yeah,
bud.
you were like, all right, love you, good night, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden she'd hear it.
No,
No,
was like-
she'd
and you were
smell
like,
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she'd smell it. She's like, what are you doing? You're like, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just setting my alarms. And she's like, are you wiping the? And then she turned the light on.
Yeah, and she saw me there,
She'd see
right?
it, like with a bottle and
Well,
a
no,
towel.
so I pulled the bottle underneath the sheets because I tried to
Right.
hide it, and she's like,
Yeah.
"What are you hiding under there?" And she's
Not
like,
now, I'm vulnerable.
she like pulls the
She
sheets
almost
over
called
off.
off- she almost
and I'm
called off the
holding this
wedding.
this 32-ounce bottle of Beadmaker, and I'm like, "I'm sorry, I thought you knew."
Yeah,
So
she was ready to call off the wedding. It was that close. You were really. It was bad.
so getting to
I
back to
remember they called me in. She called. She was crying, and she said,
that's
"She goes, Levi, I don't know what to do. Anthony, I think he's addicted."
okay. That didn't happen. So what I'm trying to say
Thought
is
it
But it would
that
have been fun.
I was using Beadmaker way too often, right? So then it kind of hit me. I'm like, hey, I'm using too much of this stuff. I'm getting streaks constantly because I've just built so much. I mean, there's a point where the Civic was literally just wearing gallons of it.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, enough's enough. So that's when I started cycling back and forth between OptiClean, right, and then that's when once Wowo's Quick Detailer came about. That's when I started using that and cycling that. So I basically, if I were to say I'm washing, let's just say I'm washing, I don't know, twice a month, whatever it is. Every other time I'll switch it up. So every 2 weeks, maybe I'll use Quick Detailer. Then 2 weeks later, if I want to use Beadmaker, I can. But I'll alternate. But OptiClean was great at giving me that slick feel without necessarily creating.
You were
any
just
more
using OptiClean on top of O&R?
So basically, my O&R wash is done, right?
Yeah.
Or my O&R wash, or even
So then
just,
you were
or even I've
using-
just rinsed my
You were
car.
using OptiClean waterless wash.
Correct. I would
As
spray.
a drying aid.
As a
Correct.
drying
I
aid.
would spray the towel, and spray two
Yeah.
sprays on the panel, and then just dry it in. And it'd be very slick and it'd feel
Yeah.
good. You could also just double up on O&R and have it at clay lube dilution to give you a little bit of a slicker feel while drying too, or O&R wash and wax, whatever it was. The idea is that I'm like, hey, I'm using too much of Beadmaker, and I really need to calm it down.
Yeah,
As far
yeah.
as Matt doing that, good for him. Adam Huber says, Hello.
Hello.
And I don't know what. Or,
Yeah.
can't
Tiny
show off
Car
to.
saying, Ivan, are you going to be at the Auto Geek Roadshow in Oconomowoc at Lake Country Manufacturing?
Oh, Connemawalk. And yes, I'm scheduled to be there June 26th.
Ta-da!
Is that a real?
Yes.
Oh, Connemawalk, Wisconsin, yes.
That's where
I
Lake
thought they
Country
made
is.
it up.
That is where every Lake Country
Yeah.
pad is manufactured.
That's where they're from. Oconomowoc.
They're writing that out every time.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're kidding me right now.
And
No.
Anthony's like, oh man, I thought somebody was having a stroke every time they were
Oconomowoc.
saying where they were from.
Oconomowoc.
Who named that town?
The Indians.
Was it an Indian reservation? Was it just an old
The
Indian
Native
town?
Americans.
We have no idea. But
It's Wisconsin.
Whatever.
moving
man.
forward.
Okay, Fletcher says no shag for me. I'm sorry about that. However, that water bed idea though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there
for
you
that
go.
van. Go for it.
It said makes me think of the Gambler 500
Oh,
articulating bus.
yeah.
They chopped the top off and installed a hot tub. Side note: I'm amazed at how many folks from all around the country
Well,
know about this
In
island.
fairness, Fletch,
I
I'm
didn't know
from
about it.
Seattle, so that's
you know
not
about
too
it?
surprising that I'd know about it. But
Did you
if
know
you
about
find
it?
other people
What's
know,
the-
Did you know
Whidbey
about
Island.
that island?
No.
What's the island near, Dane?
There's a number of islands in there. I mean, the
I once lived on Salt Spring Island, just a
Okay.
little north of you. Yeah.
there you
There
go.
you go.
Yeah,
Anything
no,
else
it's.
over there?
I mean, you have like Medina, you have Whidbey Island, you have it's all the stuff in the Puget Sound there. But
Puget?
yeah, Puget Sound. That's the body
He
of water
doesn't-
that
he
goes
doesn't-
down
Have
through.
you
Yeah.
ever been to Seattle?
He has to a couple of the hotels.
I went to Friday Harbor.
Okay, well, Friday Harbor.
I went
yeah.
there to see
Okay.
the orcas.
Okay. Well,
Didn't
and
see any.
and when I lived in Sequim, we were on the Strait of Juan de Fuca, which is that northern part between Canada and Washington that goes that body of
Juan
water.
de Fuqua.
Yeah.
Well,
So anyway, some more.
He's a brother
some
of
more knowledge.
Antoine de
Jeeper
Fuqua, who produced
1378.
many of the Fast and Furious movies.
Okay, it says, "Hey, stranger Ivan," and then we have Thomas Matthews
Oh.
says,
Okay.
I
Jeff
don't know what that's
C.
about.
says,
Oh.
in November, I coated my new snow tires with OPT, tire protection and coating. I was very thorough on the prep, scrubbed them with multiple applications of pure power clean, blew them off with an air gun, and let them dry inside for a day before applying. Since installing, I have only cleaned them with ONR and the green body brush. The TPC is still there, but not as dressed looking as it once was.
November, December, January, February.
Oh, yes.
We're now into March.
And
5
driving
months.
through winter.
And driving through winter.
Yeah,
That's
Now, if you want to freshen them up, a bit of Optibond tire gel.
They're 6 months.
Yeah.
But you've been driving through, and Jeff, I don't know where you live, but you have a Minnesota Vikings logo.
you can kind of take a hint.
So I'm just guessing.
Somewhere
Harsh-
around,
harsh
somewhere
winters.
around the northern
That's-
Midwest.
I'm just guessing.
yeah. He's not from Florida.
Not putting words in your mouth. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, can I go over the top with Optibond or Volvo's Tire Restore? Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. Chris says, actually, I washed the wheel woolly by mistake in my microfiber wash today. Oops, actually came out fine, but will not repeat.
okay.
Fletcher says, actual detailing question. Can you briefly explain removing scratches and scuffs from interior plastics, such as kick plates and doors? I've heard things about polishing, but would love some more info.
On like plastic.
There's a guy that just took a course from Color Lock here.
Yeah, so it depends on the plastics. Some of them are just dyed and maybe only have a top coat. Some are impregnated. So on an impregnated plastic,
Yeah.
which means the color is throughout the entire, as it's one color.
It's cast. Yeah.
It's cast that color. You technically can sand it and give it a bit of a buff and clean it up enough to remove some of those scuffs and scratches.
I see.
On other cars, I'm sorry. On other cars, if you try to do that aren't, you end up cutting through that first layer of color and you have an exposed secondary layer that may be
Yeah.
done in gray or a lighter plastic color, or sometimes a completely different, you don't know. It might have been a door panel that was once black and they painted it beige and then put scratches on it, and you're trying to get these black scratches out, and it's actually just the color underneath. So I usually tell people to not really worry about heavy scratches on that. Now, you can scratch it yourself. You can sand it down. You can then respray it. You can re-clear it. You can do all that stuff to it if you're willing to do that and go that far with it. You know, we had a guy in the Color Lock class, Scott Rogers, brought in his old dashboard from a 69 Cutlass.
Sprayed it.
And it was green,
Yeah.
But he wanted to re-dye it black because he was replacing. He had new door panels. He had painted the lower half of the dash. He's got all new upholstery and carpet. But that was the one factory piece that was leather, and
Yeah.
he wanted it. He didn't want to just buy another one. They're really expensive. So his was in good shape, so he brought it in and then re-dyed it there in class. So
Exactly.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
yeah, so that is a dark green. So if it did scratch, there's a potential that it would be a dark green underneath. So it is just something to be careful for. But it is possible. It just depends on, how bad how BA you want that '89 Ram van looking.
Yeah.
Those plastics.
What you're willing to do.
Yeah. So
let's
Jeff
see.
C.
Yeah.
We already did that.
Yeah.
FBD training.
Faisal
Hello.
Al-Balushi.
Yep.
Ah, hey.
Faisal there. Hello, Ivan. Hello, TRC team from Saudi Arabia.
Howdy,
howdy.
Faisal, how are you?
Those people who don't know who Faisal is, he's probably the most knowledgeable person in the detailing industry you will ever meet.
That guy's smart as a whip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a walking
And
dictionary.
a really
and
nice guy.
speaks at least 8 languages.
Oh, is that
Amazing.
all?
Yeah.
Just a couple.
Yeah.
We have KM saying, "Oh no, my government my government name." Yeah, that was given to you. Huh? Sorry, I hate that. HM Auto Detailing says, "Hello all."
Hello.
And then we have Manuel Casiba says, "Great to hear you are good. That little tour in the bus was interesting, talking about headlights. What do you all think of those steam acrylic restorers?"
Is
So
that an
the
Ivan
headlight
question?
restorers, they use, it's ammonia that they use
Yeah.
in those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please wear personal protection equipment.
Yeah. Where those guys are doing that usually are unregulated countries. And
Exactly, yeah.
I wouldn't recommend steaming ammonia.
No, not a good
It
thing.
does not seem like a fun time.
Just aerating it, getting all out in the.
So we have Alkaline Trio says, "Hello, I see no one has taken advantage of this great opportunity to ask the most important question. What ratio is best for filming ONR? 1 to 4 or 4 to 1?
0 to 0.
Oh, yes. Bait Addict says, "Sounds good. Thanks for that. I was trying to strip Jescar power lock on a car. That protection has been on there for a few months and had failed already, except on the hood, roof, trunk. Let it sit for 3 minutes or
Oh,
so."
back up. It hasn't failed. You said that it's failed on the roof, trunk, except for the roof, trunk, and hood. Basically, the upper surfaces are still beating. The sides are not beating. It's probably just contaminated with salt.
Yep.
So if you're driving in winter, it happens with coatings all the time. The sides get a very thin film of salt on them that inhibits beating.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
good. to
decon.
know. Alkaline Trio says, "I see that you guys are all color coordinated with the studio. TRC team in black and Ivan in blue."
Oh, wow. I don't think we really thought about that
Wow,
today, but it
that's
worked
not-
out.
Listen, look at whiskey, and I am wearing a black Dixon flannel T-shirt.
Huh, the perfect tee.
The perfect tee in black.
Has that shrunk yet?
No,
Well,
it's
amazing.
and it's a large, which is
And
amazing to me.
For those who don't know, the Rag Company team is addicted to Dixon flannel.
Yeah,
Just a
we
little
are.
bit.
Now,
Just a
they've been
little bit.
trying for years to get a Pepsi, we'll say sponsorship here, and
Yeah.
they did get the fridge.
We got a
Now,
Pepsi
that's from
fridge,
New
but-
Air, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not from Pepsi, it's from New Air. Just
Yeah.
saying. Maybe Dixon should step up.
Yeah, maybe. Right?
Well,
you know.
now Anthony and I have received Pepsi T-shirts
Yeah, we have.
Yes.
in the past
That was
From
their
Pepsi.
concession.
from Pepsi.
It's amazing.
I've received numerous hats.
Yeah,
Pepsi
yeah,
Cola
yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
great golfing hats and an
I got a dad
assortment
hat.
of dad hats. Yeah,
I also got a flat bill hat that Augie loves to wear.
yeah.
Um, but
Yeah, big fan of that. So,
so they are aware of us.
Yeah.
They are aware, but I mean, you guys do
They
a
do.
lot for them.
We do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason the
Think
most
of
of
it-
America drinks Pepsi products is because of us.
If any
Yeah.
detailer drinks Pepsi, it's because of TRC.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Could
that's,
be.
that's true.
Bait Advocate, you are correct. It says, "Didn't do any longer because of worry of staining on the windows, but thanks for the tip to use a damn towel."
Yep.
John Hole says, "Hey guys, all my favorite people in one place. I have a question. If you can only have one wax in your collection, what would it be?"
Oh,
Ooh.
That's a very easy question.
Paste or liquid, or any.
yeah.
Well, for me, it would be a coating.
Ah, well.
But no, if I had to have a wax, I would actually go for a paste wax.
Yeah.
Simply for the meditative qualities of it. Because if
okay, yeah.
if I'm going to be applying a wax, I use a spray wax most of the time.
Sure.
But if I'm actually working on a customer's car, I don't want to use a wax. I want to at least provide a sealant
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
a coating.
Yeah.
But if I'm using a wax for my own use,
Yeah, we're talking about the therapeutic,
the therapeutic
aspect of your
nature,
own
the meditative nature
wax.
of it, the mallow wax.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really is a super. It's an experience wax, and that's like the
Exactly.
biggest thing about the mallow wax.
If it's something that we carried, I would because we do carry it. I would say mallow wax
yeah.
because that is a great product.
Yeah.
The one wax that has always been kind of my favorite
Mm-hmm.
to apply and use is Dodo Juice Supernatural.
Yes.
Yeah, you did
It's a
say
nice
that.
wax. Too.
That's one of my favorite
Remember-
paste waxes.
remember seeing that on the clearance shelf somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, hey, like
Is that your
Levi,
wax you like?
time to stock up." And you're like, I love that wax.
No, but I know you can pick that up at Clean and Shiny.
I think
you
Clean
can-
Shiny
you can
still
pick
does
up
have
some,
a lot of those
yeah.
waxes. Yeah.
But yeah, I love the Dodo Juice. Actually, most of the Dodo Juice waxes I really like.
And PJ is a really nice guy.
Yeah, PJ's a
very
lot
nice,
of fun.
yeah.
And so those are my that's kind of my two favorite waxes. Next to when I started playing around more with paste waxes,
Yeah.
that kind of like those two kind of set the bar. I
Yeah.
like all of Swiss wax stuff, but they're expensive in some cases.
For that price, you ought to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, but like I like the way those two Wowo's Mallow and Supernatural apply.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
All right, Dane, what about you?
You know, it's between those. Like, I did really enjoy the way. What was that particular Swiss wax that Aaron Knox was showing us? The way it smelled was really good.
Oh, the $1,000 wax.
Yeah,
wax?
it smelled really
kind
good.
he wants
but
on his
it's-
Jag.
He's got Jaguar taste, so
But-
But
Jag
I have
taste.
OptiCode Pro Plus on the Jag, and I love that. And that's not a wax, but putting a paste wax on, yeah. If I'm gonna go that route, I would go paste too, just because even though I don't find myself detailing very often, I just like that motion, the process that at least has
I think we
therapeutic
should
qualities.
get Dane in on that action. Get him
That's what I'm
into
saying.
doing that.
So the warmth of a wax
needs to
too.
love
It,
the
He's
it
got
looks
a,
a little
he's got a
different.
new black pickup truck that
Yeah.
needs wax.
Yeah.
It needs a
Well,
lot
let's
of
show 'em
things.
how
He
to
needs,
do it, guys.
he needs more than just wax.
Well, just saying.
Anthony, tell us yours.
So I will actually pull one from the
Archives?
from the Dodo Juice archives as well. So I think Dodo Juice had one called Purple Haze.
Yes.
And so loved the smell of that one. I thought it was a good smelling wax, and I think that I like the color. And it's one that was actually, back when Brian at Gearhead, when we were putting different waxes on my Evo years and years and years ago,
Yeah.
he would get these little samples, right?
Yep, I would
and
too.
we'd get those little samples, and he'd say, "Oh, let's do like one here on the hood, and let's do one here." And I remember when we applied that, it had a really good smell to it. And so I would say though, as of right now, probably my two favorites. One is part of the Woes line that we don't carry, and I like it just for the smell, which is actually the signature wax. It's a
yes, signature.
watermelon scented
Ooh.
green wax is what it is. But then for the actual feel and look, probably mallow wax. Contact 121 is like a wax on steroids, so I almost don't count that. But Morgan,
No, that's me.
Morgan, you?
Hey guys, I actually haven't done a lot of waxes in my days, but the only ones that I've ever really been impressed with were the Wowo's ones. So I would say if I had to at this very moment choose only one to use for the rest of my life, it would probably be Contact 121.
Yeah,
Okay.
Morgan, she likes some protection. Yeah.
And remember, the smell of the wax is for you. You go driving by, nobody's going, "Oh, that wax smells great."
Yeah, no.
that
Once
wax,
it's applied, you don't
the way
smell
it
it anymore.
smells, it really makes a difference. And
Makes your car go faster.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adam Blackwell, what's happening, TRC? Been a fun week. Not only did I pass my CD exams,
Hey,
congrats,
congratulations.
but my daughter was born 1 week today during
Yay.
the live Q&A. All right.
Yeah.
She is here with me now, learning from the detail gods. Well, thank you, Adam.
I'm sure she's absorbing every bit.
Yeah.
of it.
What's
Yeah.
her name?
Yeah, tell us her name. Alkaline Trio, how does O&R compare with McKee's N914? We
think
already
we have
answered
already
that.
went-
Well,
do
the
that.
easy thing is buy both, try them out,
There
see
you go.
which one you like better.
And close your
Truth.
eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wilson 502. Hello, Ivan. This is sort of piggybacking on the earlier power clean question. Is 3-to-1 dilution appropriate to use when doing O&R wash, wax, clay, and seal?
Not really necessary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Beta X says also, Ivan, I'm converted maybe 8 people at my office so far to start washing their cars with O&R. These individuals generally don't care about washing, but they do it at least once a month because of how easy it is. My industry is in the software development, and at least these people in the office are not car people. They were fine with touchless car washes or the dealer washing their car. We're going down. They are huge fans at the fact that O&R saves tons of time, is super cheap, and works well with products like Beadmaker, OCW, obviously, right after. Well, a great testament there from Bait Addict. Thank you. Adam Huber says, really quick poll, BMW or Audi?
You're really going to ask that question?
Yes.
Bait Addict is here?
Adam, you already know where we all stand.
Yeah, no Volkswagens.
That's what I'm saying. I'm never going to pay for an expensive Volkswagen.
Now,
so
Audis look better than BMWs over the last decade.
So here's the deal.
Just
and
lay
I'm
it out,
not
Levi.
apologizing
Here's
for
the
that.
deal.
Okay, just say
We
it.
always have an inside joke here at the Rag Company that if someone has a good idea, we usually say, here's our couple things, a couple inside baseball stuff.
Yeah.
If someone has a really good idea,
Yeah.
one of us basically says at the end of that, and then we'll all get used Audi R8s.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. We've always
That's
said
like
that.
a dream. That
That's
means
why I
like
said that.
we're onto something
Yeah.
because potentially we have the capability to buy.
No, if we make it big one
If
day,
we
or
make
something.
enough money, we could buy used Audi R8s.
Yeah.
So pretty impressive goal.
But Adam actually doesn't like the R8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other
It's
thing,
the S4, right?
yep. But that actually spawned from a conversation with Adam Huber when he was looking at a used Audi,
Yes.
and Anthony said, "Someday, Adam, we'll all be able to afford used Audis, just like you."
Yeah.
And then it became we could get used Audi R8s, and then it went from there. So we had it. So that's kind of the reason for that. But the other one we have is when someone has a really bad idea,
Yeah.
we usually follow it up with, "And that guy died."
Yeah. Yeah. That's an inside joke.
It doesn't even have to make sense.
Answer your
No.
so
It doesn't.
answer his
It usually
question.
doesn't.
BMW or Audi?
So
Just go.
I've
Or-
always been a big fan of an RS6 Avant.
Okay.
Ever since the movie Layer Cake, that has been like I'm scared to death
Yeah.
of vehicles from other countries
Yeah.
that aren't Japanese or Korean or American.
Yeah. Okay. So BMWs are made in Tennessee, just so you know.
The KDM market. Okay.
I'm all about that KDM life.
Yeah.
So I've always been scared to own one of those.
Oh man!
All right, Dane, go.
So all the BMWs I like stopped being made in the early 2000s. So for Audi's current ones, I love the 7s. Obviously, the hatchback is super sweet. The S5 Sportback and the TTRS and RS3 because of that 5-cylinder with the all-wheel drive. That sounds amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ivan, BMW.
I'm not a fan of
He's
either
a
one of
Volvo.
those.
Okay.
He's a Volvo man.
Yeah, well, I had Volvos for decades.
Hey!
And, yeah, and restored Volvos for a living for a while there. So, yeah, I'm more of a Volvo guy.
Okay. Well,
But,
it wasn't on the list, but you can.
That being said, if I was forced to have one or the other, it would be the BMW because it's rear-wheel drive.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Morgan. What would you pick, Morgan? Morgan, well, we don't know what you would pick. What is it?
I don't
No.
It's a total
It's a
mystery.
mystery.
It's
Yeah.
a mystery. I guess
you know,
it's an Audi.
It's really too hard.
Well, her friend just bought that red one, that red Audi.
Yeah.
So she's
Yeah.
talking about how she wants.
You-
it.
So-
You clearly want a Z3M Coupe clown shoe.
Oh.
No, don't.
If
Dane,
you don't take it, I will.
Dane, nobody wants that except for you.
I do.
So here's the deal. If somebody put an Audi RS7 in front of me and a BMW M2 comp package,
Oh, you'd be a
Um,
BMW M2 comp package all day long.
Yeah.
All day long. Or your name's not.
so here actually that's incorrect.
Oh.
So I would choose the RS7 because I want to literally crap on everybody. I
It's a
want
good
to
thing your
literally.
Such a
name is not
good-looking
what I
car.
said it was.
Now-
I want an RS7 just to destroy people and feel like a man, but the M2 is really the car for me. So
Now,
I'm
the real-
living a lie in the RS7.
The
You
real
can fit a
reason for
family
the
in
RS7. Children coming.
Yeah,
that's
you
right.
can
That
fit a
is true.
family in a 7.
That's a great
That is the
point
reason.
that I will
Yeah.
bring to the table when that time
Yeah.
comes.
Yeah.
I will say I need this to get the kids to school really fast.
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony, why is the spoiler up in the rear? Don't worry about that. We were doing some hard braking.
It's in cleaning mode the whole
Yeah.
time.
Okay, so here we go. And we got Bait Addict says, and TRC, I got those same people to buy all Gauntlet towels. Okay,
Ooh.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Nice.
Wilson Wilson 502. In my second question, is there any appreciable benefit to using OptiCoat no rinse on a non-coated car versus O&R wash and wax?
Yes. Has more gloss enhancers.
Okay. Yeah.
But as far as ease of washing, everything else, no difference.
Well, and then the cost is a little bit more with going with the OptiCoat
Yeah,
stuff.
definitely.
Yeah.
They'll clean it equally.
Yeah.
Adam Thurman says, Adam Huber, depends on the model. We got Bait Addict says, also, I already messaged Levi about this regarding my Optimum Ultra Clay Mitt discoloring.
Who's that?
Have you seen this before? Bait Addict is saying this.
I've
Okay.
had that conversation with another man
He's trying to get the name.
not named Bait Addict.
That's strange.
Suspicious.
I have a Post-it note in my office
What?
Do
on my
you?
computer with the name of that gentleman that has had that issue.
Is that somebody that we would know?
Quite possibly.
Well, that's no, because like we just don't know. But I don't want to know who he is.
This is the username,
I think-
and
I
we're,
think he's just given up his ID.
we're protecting privacy.
The
here.
blue color has started to disappear and is just a black rubber texture.
Yeah. Your towel may be starting to wear out.
Okay, all right. Wilson 502, have you tried using Power Clean on it bait? Maybe. That would probably be a good way
Yes.
to try to clean it,
Yeah.
right? To
Yeah.
say that first.
Yeah, but it sounds like what it's starting to do is break. He's breaking through the blue.
Oh my
Yeah.
The
God.
blue part.
Don't
So-
break your microphone.
I don't
What
wasn't
are you-
trying to.
Alkaline Trio. Man, I'm just shaking from that. I feel like I just was given
Well,
the
you're the
true
only-
identity of Santa Claus.
Well, you're the only one that knows this going on
Hey,
right now.
the true identity of Santa Claus is Saint Nick. Come on.
Here we go. We got
Everybody knows that.
Alkaline Trio says, I have a close friend considering van life.
Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions on where to find good information on it, and possibly for bus life? Any general advice?
Yeah,
Cool.
YouTube. There's a lot of van life channels out there. Jared Tochi is one of them. He does a great thing. There's 7 Tours the World is another one. There's a lot of great van life channels, so have a look around YouTube, and you'll get a lot of information. And van life is fun. Now, my van's a little bigger than your
You can do it with a Honda Element.
than
even.
your standard van. Yeah, but yeah, it's a great life. I love being a nomad. So
There you go.
And you can find there's a big subreddit for it too. I know that there's a large community on there of people who just do different mods to their vans so that they can travel in them and stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah,
Cool.
a lot of options out
yep.
there.
All right.
Right down the line.
Adam Huber says Adam Thurman, but doesn't matter though.
Not really.
Barbara Riffle, I've never seen videos that clean the seatbelts. How do you clean them? Well,
You don't.
You don't pull them out and clean them, but you can spray chemical cleaner on them, or an interior fabric cleaner, or you can even spray O&R on them.
They're
and you can
technically
you
woven.
can kind of scrub them or wipe them with a towel, but you're never going to physically clean them. They are very tight. The weave is very tight, and if you use certain products to try and abrade them, to scrub them, you can actually
Less safe in a crash.
right. You end up weakening them. So
Yeah.
try to just do the lightest amount of cleaning, and just know that if
Water.
they're really stained, you're not really going to get them out.
Yeah.
CJ Byrne, 27. A ton of towns in Wisconsin are named after Native American tribes.
Mm-hmm.
Muskego, Mukwatago, Kokana, Waukesha.
That's how it was in
Minocqua.
northwestern
Yep.
Washington.
Yep.
Same deal.
And there's a
Squim
lot of lakes in
is
that
not
area.
a
Yep.
English word there.
Bait Addict says Wilson 502. Yup. Hans Closen. Oh boy, I had a long day. I just stepped in. Started at 7:30 a.m. Finished at 11 p.m. Dang,
Oh,
Hans.
man.
That is not a good thing.
No.
Learn to pace yourself.
Yeah.
Tidy Car Anthony Akanamanawak
Oconomowoc.
means where the waters meet or rivers of lakes in Potawatomi. The Potawatomi are a local Native American tribe in Wisconsin. There is no good abbreviation, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just call it Oko.
Marty P says Adam Huber BMW all day unless it was a wagon, then Audi due to the RS4/6 models. Adam Huber
Avance.
says Marty P, crying faces. Richard Jones, hello everyone. Levi, what's your favorite polish/compound?
I think we know.
So Last Cut is still one of my favorites just for the fact that it's one product and it does 10 things. And that's been really great. For super, super soft clear, I really have been impressed because I've been playing with the Oberk car care line a lot. And I really like their polish and their cut. So Supreme Cut and Supreme Polish. It's almost as if they were designed by somebody who loves Hondas. And so it works very well on the soft Honda paint. But I'm always a fan of, like, I basically found the miracle drug when I met Yvonne and we were doing hyper polish, and the ability to not have to mask anything, not have to,
Yeah.
just the ability to just spray a product. So hyper polish still is the king, in my opinion. So.
Well, the first time, because I wasn't big into detailing before we started all this, so when I went into your shop and saw you using hyper polish and hyper compound and stuff, just seeing them in action and not having to tape off the stuff. The few times I'd seen anybody polish before, I'd always seen them taping, and I just assumed, oh, that's the way it works. So when I saw it, you had the ability to do it without that. That just changed everything. And I look and go, why isn't everybody doing it this way? But of course,
Tradition.
everybody has their reasons. So.
Well, and it's hard because a lot of people are like, oh, I always have to tape. You don't have
not
to.
necessarily.
If you're skilled in your profession, it's the same as wearing a ring. It's the same as wearing a watch. It's the same as wearing a belt
I guarantee
buckle.
you some people are going to take that
Or
as
a bow
dig.
tie.
Or a bow tie.
Yeah.
The point is, you become so skilled with how you handle yourself and your muscle memory. You can, you can keep away from that stuff. Now, I don't recommend it for someone who's never, does this on the side or
Sure.
something like that. I recommend using products that you don't have to mask. That way you don't have to worry about it. But I detailed for a number of years with different products that always stain plastic trim, and we would mask just so that I didn't have to do extra work trying to clean it off. But that's because my boss only bought these products, and I didn't have an alternative for myself. So when I started my own business and was able to find an alternative for myself and my guys, that I didn't have to take the labor of masking, made all the difference in the world. So,
All right, Anthony, before the screen gets scrolled down, Tidy Car wanted to make sure you read his stuff. We already read it for you, basically, but he wanted you to be
Never mind.
educated.
Too late.
There we go.
Oh. Never mind. He was telling you what the place in
Oconomowoc.
Wisconsin's name meant.
Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and read this.
Right.
Anthony.
Oconomo.
Oconomowoc. Did he
Oconomowoc.
spell it more complicated that time?
I'm just waiting for
Anthony
him to add more letters.
Oconomowoc.
He added 5 syllables.
Oconomo means where waters meet, or river of lakes. In Potawatomi, the Potawatomi are a
really painful.
local Native American tribe in
Wisconsin.
There is no good abbreviation, unfortunately.
All right, now we can move back down. I just wanted Anthony to
I feel like
read
that
through
scene
that.
in Indian in the Cupboard where he's reading through the thing and like I'm kind of stumbling my words. That was me.
I
just
forgot that
then.
existed.
Great movie.
Yeah,
So,
wow, that takes me back
Tim,
to
go up
childhood.
one little bit. Just you're halfway through. There you go.
CJ Burns.
CJ Byrne, 27. Yvonne, you mentioned the new sponge being released. Is there going to be any special care instructions for the new sponge, like keeping the big red sponge wet?
Actually, less care instructions because it's a very different foam than what we've had before. The new sponge has a tighter pore structure, will hold more liquid, and be more self-cleaning.
It'll hoard the liquid.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Now, alkaline. How do you
Alkaline Top Hat.
Guys, okay.
Although we call him Alkaline Trio because that's the name of the band.
Okay. What is something you recently learned about detailing?
Well, something recently I learned about
I
detailing.
learned how to protect vinyl tops as well as fabric tops.
I did see that. I'd heard of the
Yes, you did.
products before, but I hadn't seen them in action, so it was interesting to watch them actually in the demo videos being produced today. I'll just say what they were. They were ragtop products, and it was very interesting to watch. So, yeah.
Morgan?
I would say, geez,
You really like doing headlight restorations.
I do. I feel like that's not like the newest thing that I've learned because I did learn some stuff when color lock.
Oh,
Color
yeah.
lock.
Yeah.
And I recently learned about a new ergonomic thing that we'll be talking about later.
Yeah. Here we go. So we got going down. Big Addict says, interesting note about the contamination, Ivan. But after rinsing off the power clean, the side still did not bead or sheet at all. Still was failed.
Right, Power Clean will not remove salt. You need to use a mineral deposit remover, otherwise known as a mineral deposit remover, or you can use something that removes salt or a water stain remover.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
We have Jay
vinegar
Burns says,
related
"Sup,
things.
guys?" We have Alkaline Trio says, "I bought a big red sponge and let it dry out with some dirt on it. Is there anything specific I need to do to restore it to its full functionality? Did I damage it irrevocably?
Irrevocably. No, you didn't damage it irrevocably.
There it goes.
You didn't damage it forever. So
Use simpler words."
yeah, no.
No,
They're
no,
trying
keep it
to
up,
tongue-tie
Alkaline.
us.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, no, they're trying to tongue tie us. That being said, no,
Irrevocably.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. English is a second language for me. Just don't forget
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Don't beat up on him. This
Yeah.
guy though.
Yeah. Okanamawak. Anyways, what you can do, simply soak it again, throw some power clean at it, massage it in, rinse it out. You're good to go.
I like it.
All right, so going down here, and we have Kevin Rodriguez 0823 says, accidentally left my BRS. Geez, what are you guys doing with these big red sponges? I accidentally left my big red sponge inside a bucket and it froze.
Ah.
Is it no longer good, or can I defrost and reuse it, or should I just wait for the new one to come out? LOL.
Both, actually. So it's still good to go. Let it defrost. Now, you may have damaged some of the
Cells.
the cells between the foam. It's going to make it actually feel a little softer.
Yeah.
But other than that, not a big deal. And yes, when the new one comes out, you're going to want to buy that because the bigger red sponge will be obsolete then.
All
I mean,
right.
if it was frozen and you cracked it in half, that's obviously a problem. But
Yeah, exactly.
Now you have two.
So we
Yeah.
have a
Medium red
Philip
sponges.
Death. That is quite the name there.
You
And
notice
quite,
it.
quite terrifying.
All caps.
Which is better, Wowo's Malo or 121?
They're
Different animals.
Different animals. They're different.
They're still wax,
Yep.
but
One
they
is-
serve different purposes.
Yeah, one is meant to have a higher contact angle, but some better protection. The other one is meant for more of a show gloss-enhancing wax.
Warmth.
It just kind of has a funner application process. So,
buy both.
Cody Boss says, "Hey Ivan, what is the dilution for mixing ONR and MDR as a pre-soak?"
Well, easy. 1 gallon of water, half an ounce of ONR, and 4 ounces of MDR. Mix together, put them in your IK sprayer, not foamer, and spray it on the vehicle. Allow it to dwell, but not dry. Then rinse away.
There you go.
Cool. We got G. Davis says, "Would TRC be interested in a secondary level soda sponsorship like one from Mr. Perky or perhaps Shasta?"
Dude, those are like fourth rung. If you're going second rung, you're going like Mr.
Oh,
Pibb or
RC.
maybe
If
RC
only we could get
or
some
I like
big K.
Tab or
Shasta, is that Shasta that far down?
to me it is.
Dude, what happened to Shasta?
Shasta used to be a contender.
No, they
Yeah.
were. So Shasta purple soda was one of my favorites as a younger.
You want a
kid.
can of purple?
My my parents didn't buy name brand stuff, so I was always growing up with Shasta and things, and
Yeah.
I was that kid where you'd go to their house
Well,
and
yeah.
Dr. Thunder.
Well, that's how my family was, except for Pepsi products.
Oh,
No,
wow.
we-
So
that
you
was
drew the line
my
there.
dad. My dad spent the money on
yeah.
Twizzlers, double stuffed Oreos, and Pepsi products. That was
Wow.
where
Wow.
he put the money at when
In
it
the
came
lap
to
of
snacks
luxury.
for the family.
So Dane, did you get name brand Gushers?
I actually did, yeah.
So
Well,
I didn't honestly. I think Top Ramen was the one name brand thing I got.
the actual top
Um,
ramen. The
I-
actual
I-
name is Marshall.
I told people about the one story about the one time my mom bought me Kool-Aid and I won a mountain
Yeah.
bike. Right,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was
you had
that
that
was
Kool-Aid mountain bike you were
That
rolling
is cool.
around on.
I won that, and that was amazing. But other than that, though, dude, I grew literally the Shasta life was my life, and
Yeah.
which weird though because I feel like you go to the grocery store nowadays, and I feel like you go down like let's say Walmart or wherever you go. Most of the soda aisle is just name brands now, and I think a lot of the stuff is maybe more affordable than it was before. I'm not sure.
I look for deals. I hunt for my soda
Do
deals.
you hunt for deals?
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is funny. Like you still go into my dad's house,
yeah.
and my stepmom, when she buys soda, she just buys Coke and Pepsi. But
Okay.
when my dad goes to buy soda, it's only Diet Pepsi or caffeine-free Diet Pepsi. He only buys Pepsi,
Interesting.
and it's because for so many years they gave him money. So
Well, I'm starting to see it was funny because they used to laugh at the sparkling water section, right, where you would have the
now
flavored water,
it's
right?
the hottest thing in existence.
People you literally couldn't sell Lacroix. No
I was
offense.
gonna say we're sitting
No,
next to one
exactly.
right now.
You literally couldn't
sell him
you
right
couldn't
now.
Give it away.
You
before.
couldn't give the damn stuff away,
No,
right?
but remember, clearly Canadian.
It was yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you used to be able to get a 12-pack of
Clear
this,
American.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You used to be able to get a 12-pack for like $2. It was
Yeah.
something
It was
ridiculous, right?
filthy
Yeah.
cheap.
Like, and then out of nowhere, right? People started like influencers start drinking this Lacroix, and people are like, "Ooh, what's this?" And then Michael Bublé obviously starts endorsing
the
bubbly,
Bublé Blump.
and so
Bublé Bump.
now
What's that
you're
called?
for eight
The
of
bubble
those
bump.
things.
The Bubble Bump.
You're spending like $4 or $5 for an
Yeah.
8-pack,
Yeah.
and I'm sitting here like, this is damn
it's
sparkling
the
water.
same stuff it
Yep.
always was.
But it has a flavor in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I
Sort
said,
of.
you couldn't
Well,
even give it away.
See, when I was a kid, it was Talking Rain and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like that was
That sounds delicious.
Talking Rain
That sounds
had flavors.
Sounds delicious.
I did have Capri Sun though, so I had that going for me, which was nice. You know
What
it's
is
true.
that?
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing. Hey, Anthony, grab me one of those Talking Rain
Yeah.
boysenberry flavored drinks.
Oh man.
Fletcher, thanks all. Since you like the Oberk polish so much, guys, TRC going to start stocking it? Question mark. It's a thumbs up from me. And Yvonne, great to see you, sir, as always.
Hey, great to hear. Great to read your comments. And Oberk, I like it as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm wearing my Oberk belt. What are you wearing today?
I am also wearing my Oberk belt.
Dane, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my special Honda
Okay,
belt
never
that
mind.
David Patterson
Never
gave
mind.
me. That
No,
was
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Not wearing his Oberk belt.
Yeah.
All right.
sorry.
It's the exact same belt with a
Nope,
different.
it's not.
Nope, it's
No.
different. It's
It
an
doesn't
Oberk
have the
belt.
Oberk logo
we have
on it.
Adam,
It doesn't.
Adam Blackwell says her name is Grace, and thank you guys.
Aw,
That's a
perfect.
cute name.
Beautiful name.
KM apparently has his name back, so I don't know how
Yeah.
that worked out.
How did that change?
Ivan, any concerns with washing with O&R prior to polishing or applying a sealant coating?
Not at all. Now, O&R wash and wax, yes.
Yeah.
O&R, the blue stuff, no. It leaves nothing on the paint.
Cool.
Aaron says, sup. Then Brandon Brack, Audi is the only company that makes a V8 all-wheel drive 6-speed.
I mean,
I
Is
think
that
you're-
true,
maybe.
it's true
Yeah,
for
that
the
sounds about right.
well in that particular between BMW and Audi.
Well, I think
yes,
Chevy
there
does.
are other cars
Yeah,
out there.
Chevrolet,
Silverado,
Yeah.
Chevrolet,
Ford,
yeah.
Dodge, or Ram.
Yeah, they all. Yeah, technically you could get a V8 all-wheel drive.
Well,
6
four-wheel
speed.
drive and all-wheel drive are two different
No,
things.
Dane, they're
no.
not.
They're not.
They're different.
One sends power to the wheels that slip and the wheels that grip.
Just to
Somebody
say,
used to watch Subaru ads.
your father happens to drive a V8 all-wheel drive vehicle.
Yes,
and so
because
does
the
your mother.
Denali's are equipped with all-wheel drive versus the lower models, which have four-wheel drive.
Well, there we go. But see,
My Suburban has auto 4-wheel drive,
yeah,
which is
Yeah.
basically all-wheel drive.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, it does effectively act like it. However, in the case like the Escalade had all-wheel drive, that was full-time all-wheel drive. You could not just run two wheels. Four-wheel drive, you can run two-wheel drive. All-wheel drive, it is always
Yeah,
locked
That
in.
mine
Escalade was
has
something else.
all-wheel
It
drive
was.
on the Suburban and the ability to run two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
All-wheel drive
That's the
assumes
beauty
you
of
never
Ragnarok.
have the ability to deactivate the ability
Well,
for it
what
to
about
change
those
to four-wheel
RS?
driving.
What about those Focus RSs, Dane, that have the ability to be
Yeah,
all-wheel drive?
they
and
kick
rear-wheel
power
drive?
to the rear wheels, but
So
they're
then those
still
would be a 4-wheel drive by your standard.
And I thought
They're
this
still
was a
adjusting.
detailing podcast. Just saying.
yeah. Well,
We're
you know,
into
it's
the
a
fun
car
bit.
podcast.
We're into the
too.
fun bit.
Yeah.
All right.
We're past 4 o'clock.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah.
Technically.
Aaron says, dang it, YouTube, the bell is broken. I pressed the bell button and it didn't work.
Oh.
Han says, ding dong. G. Davis says, well done, Hans. Well done. Jason Davis says, hello, all. Aaron said something horrible. He's probably swearing.
Yeah.
Earl Moorhead says, family fathers drives an M3 or M4. Lol.
Oh, wait, hold on. I just thought of one thing. Remember, the M5, M6 models now have the ability with all-wheel drive. You can actually deactivate it entirely and function on rear-wheel drive with the full power. They have ability to do that. I'm sorry. I'm a car guy. That's what I care about. They do have the ability to
Aaron's
do that.
wants to know, what is that polisher on the table? That
It's
is the
the
Udos, Aaron.
51E from Lake Country Power Tools or LC Power Tools. The Udos 51E is a 5-in-1 polisher, hence 51. E electric. Yeah, it's hinting to other things coming in the future. Now, what is it 5 of? There's
Show
only
'em.
one polisher here, but you have 5 different modes or strokes. As
Let
we like to
me
say.
move these
Sponges
standing
there?
blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So We have it
Wheel
right
chocks.
now. Right. We have it right now in my favorite mode, which is the rotary mode.
As evidenced by the letter R.
R. Yes. Now, if you want to do wet sanding, you can do it with this machine. We just line up these tabs, and I have to look at it to line it up. Sorry. There we go. Now they're lined up. And now I can put it in sanding mode. Now, that sanding mode is an 8mm stroke.
Wow.
Those of you who are familiar with the Porter cable,
Yeah.
that's also an 8mm stroke.
Okay.
Yep.
We can go to the P1 or polishing 1, which is 12mm stroke.
Okay.
Very
now,
nice.
if you want a larger stroke, go to P2. When we're at P2, we now have a
Whoa.
15mm stroke.
So
And
What?
The
There-
pièce
is there one more?
It's
The
like
pièce
traveling
de-
through a parking
well,
garage.
we're at 4 so far. So let's go for that fifth one,
Oh my goodness.
P3. The swirl killer. No. The 21mm stroke.
Wow, that is really incredible, people.
So
Wow.
you get a rotary, you get a short throw polisher,
yeah.
then you get 3 long throw polishers all wrapped up into one machine.
In one tool. Not only do you get that, you also get a patented backing plate. Yes. So the backing plate. Now, we're all car guys here, and we all like stuff like this.
It's got ducts just like Dane's Jag does on, on
It
the
has
hood.
NACA ducts or NACA ducts.
Wow.
They
yeah.
provide positive pressure inside the backing plate that when the air goes in there, it goes out of here.
Mm-hmm.
These
Okay.
multiple
Yeah.
holes cooling your pad.
Wow.
The cooler your pad runs, the faster you cut. We had proof of that the other day. We did a little test. You'll see it eventually.
Yeah, very interesting.
So the polisher that cut the coolest,
Actually cut the fastest.
yes, exactly. Amazing.
Yeah.
But anyways, so we have the 21mm stroke all the way down to a rotary.
Okay.
We also have an ergonomically balanced machine.
Oh no!
Oh
We did that on purpose.
no,
Good
we
thing-
didn't.
good
We
thing
didn't do that
all
on
those-
purpose.
Good thing all those sodas are closed.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
And they're ready to pop now.
Well, they'll be ready for somebody who drinks full flavor Pepsi, which I don't, so I'm not worried
Oof.
about it.
Not full flavored, full sugared.
Full sugared Pepsi.
Just the cord happens to be cut. There we go.
There we go.
That's
freed
better.
up.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll let our friend over there,
Now,
Anthony,
All
handle
right.
it.
I do want to point out, you said a hint with electric. Obviously, there's a gas-powered version coming soon,
Yes.
so
It's got a rip
just
cord.
wanted to address
Two-stroke.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
two-stroke.
look out.
So I will say right off the bat here, so this is lighter than the version they had at SEMA. So they had the prototype there, right? That was still almost production. This is actually quite a bit lighter than I remember.
How much
being.
does it weigh? Do you know?
7.1 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So about half a pound more than your standard DA.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
within.
And it's ergonomically balanced. Once you put it on the paint, it just controls itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
See how it's nice shape there, nice
Yeah.
balance.
No, it's still, so you still have your trigger lock, which is fantastic. You
Yes.
have your easy to use dial right here to obviously change your speed.
Right.
And then what I really like about it though too is that the backing plate, even though it's a patented design backing plate, you can remove that and exchange that out if you needed to, because obviously
Yes.
it's just one little
Right.
one little bolt right there.
And the
but-
other nice thing, these little rubber bumpers, and they're actually rubber. They're soft.
They're not
oh, and you can
plastic.
replace those as
And
well.
they're replaceable, yes.
Wow.
Nice.
No, this is a very good looking machine, and I absolutely love what they did with this metal here. This looks
Yeah.
It
This
looks
looks
unique.
killer.
You're not
It
going to
looks-
confuse that for anything
it
else.
looks so good. And so but yes, you do have to line up those lines and then twist it. Very easy to
Yeah.
use. Very,
and
very
when you
easy
want to
to
go into
use.
rotary mode, you have to line up one of these little marks as well.
Oh, I see. Okay. Maybe. Gotcha. Got it. Okay. That
And
got
now,
it.
when it's in rotary mode, it's attached.
I
Now put it back into a DA mode,
Okay, so put that there, and then I'm gonna pull down. Okay, and I'll just do there.
and now it's free spinning.
Wow,
That is cool.
is technology, man. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Pretty dope.
Exactly.
The bait addict. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I ended up getting the Microfiber Madness Chipmunk towel. It is softer than the Gauntlet, but I think it has to do with the fact that it's a 1,000 GSM versus
nothing-
900.
GSM has zero
Yeah,
to do
Zero.
with
bait
it.
addict. That
No.
is just your brain thinking it is. So here's the deal: softness is never a factor of GSM.
is never ever
That
a
is-
factor.
That
No.
is, as much as I love you, brother, it is scientifically impossible.
Yeah.
What you are feeling is the fact that it is 70-30 blended, same as ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what you're probably feeling is just on that day, your hands were lotioned the night before. And so your
but
hands
also-
feel a little
I don't know
softer.
about that.
No, but
And-
your hands feel a little softer. The hooks, that your hand grabbing microfiber.
I just mean
If-
I don't know what his lotion regimen is.
Oh,
so.
okay,
Well,
yeah.
I'm
I
assuming that he lotions down every
I would
day.
assume he's got a lovely woman, the future bride.
Oh boy.
She probably makes it. He probably lotions.
How do you
up-
know this much about him?
Let's just say I've done my research.
Oh no.
But he,
Do-do-do.
remember, she placed an order for him using
Oh, I
the
see.
name Bait Addict. Piqued my interest.
Yeah.
So, but I'm just saying, maybe he lotions his hands at night
Yeah.
when
To
she
rub
does
her back.
when she does hers, or maybe maybe he's giving her massages and back rubs. So on that day, he actually got some. His hands were soft.
Yeah.
Now,
So that day, he felt that towel, and he was like, "Oh, this is softer."
Now, the other thing is, from a non-microfiber expert here, I defer to these guys for microfiber expertise, but what we feel is soft doesn't matter to the paint.
Yeah.
True.
Well, and also it may be different because we do this at
And the color actually makes it
Bait Addict. We would love to have you here anytime. You could come hang out. You could do this kind of stuff we do where
Feel every single
we
towel.
literally
And actually, we're having a
close-
class this weekend.
Yeah, we are. You should just come on down. You're in
Yeah.
BC. You'll make it.
Yeah.
What we do is Jeff will hand us towels, have us close our eyes, and then ask us which is softer.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
We do that, and I will say, like, there are ways that you can make a towel feel softer, but it's never GSM,
Yeah.
and the paint doesn't notice the difference because it's still 70-30 blended microfiber.
Exactly.
The yarn, the way that yarn is blended, that is the difference. Actually, a double twistress is just as soft as a 365 and just as soft as a Everest.
Yeah.
All three are equal softness. It's how your fingers and the pieces of skin are
Yeah.
catching on whether or not they're catching on a loop or an open ended
Fiber.
piece of fiber. Yeah. That's
Well,
how it works.
And the manner in which it's actually constructed makes a big difference too, because surely all of us have gone to a store, maybe during the wintertime, you're walking through Fred
Well-
Meyer, they got all those blankets hanging out, they have the big micro fleece ones, and you're
Now,
just feeling like, wow,
right,
that's
but-
really soft.
But remember, we're talking about the Gauntlet versus the Chipmunk.
Yeah, between the two.
900 GSM and 1,000. Everything else is the same.
Yeah. It's negligible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we're going back to is just saying that I don't doubt that it felt softer to you in
Oh,
the
yeah.
moment that you held it, but I will say that the GSM, the 1,000 GSM, has no bearing
Yeah, GSM
to
wouldn't do
900 or 1,000, which feels softer. So that's all. But
Yeah.
everything else you're probably right about. But that is the one thing that that's just
It's also
the science of it.
Yeah,
that.
it's
And I
also-
would use them back to back on a car. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, and that's
You really
and
want your real
and the
test.
whole GSM thing. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
It's, never mind. So, Mark,
But you know what I'll do? I'll
says,
probably call that guy back that had the
Oh.
issue with the clay towel. Maybe I'll have a talk with him.
Yeah, maybe call that guy. Maybe
Call
Yeah.
him
see if
and
he
Yeah.
gets some
see.
answers.
And then maybe
about
he
that.
can talk to Bait Addict.
Could be.
Here we got Mark Puffer says,
Relay
thank you
the
guys for
information.
the stickers and sent a spell back.
You sent a spell back. So a while ago,
You
you sent him
sent it.
stickers, and he's thanking you.
Oh,
You
okay.
sent a spell. Oh,
You know, it's English.
I thought it was a term of like wizardry. Something
No.
somebody has cast a spell. I thought the guy was trying to cast a spell on me.
I did too. He
No, I
you
think
sent him a
that guy was
sticker and
just-
he cast the spell right
I
back.
think the guy was just waving. All right, so we got Alkaline Trio says, I for one would buy and drive a BMW Z3M Coupe clown shoe after I get over German car PTSD.
My man, and I know because he had a 335i previously,
But
a
I also have a ton
E90
of
generation,
PTSD.
and that was a bit of a nightmare for him, as I recall.
Morgan,
What?
it's 4:15 p.m. I was wondering if I could ask you
Ooh.
to be so kind as to
Are you
hand
ready
me.
for a refill, sir?
I would. I appreciate that.
A baby
Wow.
bottle?
Would you like your other bottle, or would you
I
like
will
to
take
crack
that-
open a shot?
I'm going to take that can in the back, the big can,
Ooh.
the normal 12-ounce can.
Oh.
Wow. Ooh.
Would you like some mayo to go with that?
Probably only a shot, but we'll drink it.
Okay, so
thank you, Morgan.
getting
Of
into
course
this,
you're welcome.
we have Steve Spencer says, what is the group's favorite drying towel?
The group's favorite drying towel, Gauntlets.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that you're speaking
You're
for everybody right now.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so we'll start with Ivan. Ivan, your favorite drying towel.
The gauntlet.
Okay, so and this was one of your first times actually putting it to use this week, right? And really
Actually,
putting it
I
through
got
the
to
ringer.
see the prototype a while
You
ago.
did.
You did,
Yes.
you did. But we've used it to dry a bus, right?
Yes.
We used it to dry several cars
We did.
over the last
Yeah.
week, so you've gotten to know it pretty dang well.
Yeah.
Now, Levi, yours?
The gauntlet. Like
Is there
I
a
just-
color of the side that you prefer?
the dark side of the
That's-
gauntlet.
That's the wrong side.
It's the best side.
Nope.
It's the strongest,
On-
the most absorbent side.
Honestly, I
Of the
think
towel.
that Bait Addict would have a different perspective on softness if he would have not felt the dark side first.
I'm pretty sure he was feeling the light side.
Nope.
And if he would have felt the dark side, he would have noticed that it was far more softer.
Well, Dane knows something about feeling the darkness. Dane, what towel for you?
Well, I mean, since we're going that route, I just want everybody to know I do love the gauntlet. However, my favorite continues to be the double twistress.
The bath towel
I
that Dane
love
uses
the
in his
double
room.
twistress.
Okay.
It's
Morgan.
just the right size.
I was a double twistress fan, and then the gauntlet decided to make its appearance here at the Rag Company, and now I like the gauntlet.
There you go.
Well, that was
I dried my
pretty crazy.
dad's entire Jeepster this afternoon, with
Yeah.
that 115 by 23
Yeah.
gauntlet, and it was still dry.
Yeah.
Had a ways to go.
And we used it yesterday to dry part of Ivan's bus,
Yeah.
and it was still dry after that too.
Yeah.
That is true.
It
So-
really is amazing. You know, just
Yeah.
such a feat.
Such a thirsty towel.
It is. I would say.
And a Factor 55 Jeep, too.
Yeah.
And we did a Factor 50. We did another Jeep too.
say that we've done a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite would probably still be the. I like two towels. I like the gauntlet, and I like the pluffle. I have a
okay.
love for both of them.
Okay, I can
cannot
see that.
live
That's totally
without,
fine.
without both of them. I
Yeah.
love them both. All right, so coming down here, we do have Aaron saying, I see that you have a bus. Must take a long time to. Well, it took us several hours yesterday. 2 hours, but with filming, of
Actually,
course.
an hour and a half, including the drive.
Wow, that's not bad. Bait Addict says the microfiber suede on the gauntlet is better. And that's all he said. Just thought he would share it. I'm just kidding. So he said the
He
microfiber
says,
suede on the
just thought
gauntlet
I'd
is better.
share those thoughts. He
Yep,
did. That's
yep.
the end of
Yeah.
that comment.
Beautiful.
He didn't say anything
Yep.
else about it.
Weird. That is
Yeah.
just strange that he just keeps
He
complimenting
just
us.
kept talking about how much he loves the
Alkaline
gauntlet,
Trio
how
says
soft it is.
the term
Specifically the dark side.
the term N54 still makes my eye twitch. And then we have KM says Ivan 2 weeks ago. Jeez, oh my God, KM, enough of this. This is just not good anymore. 2 weeks ago, Eric from G Technic said he loves the blue IK alkies, right? So the blue IK alkies they're the alkaline version of the blue IK
Safe for
sprayer.
alkalines.
They're safe for
Yeah.
alkalines, right? It's a multi-sprayer with the blue
Right, yeah, yeah.
with the blue head. Now
He's just very upset that we don't
and
sell
he's
them.
upset that we don't sell them, but he says that Eric from G Technic says that he loves them and he would rate them at a 9 out of 10. What could he put you down for in terms of rating for the sprayer that you probably haven't used?
I've never used it.
Just-
Now, the Foam Pro 12, I'll give that a 100 out of 10.
Okay, wow,
Oh,
that's
there
pretty,
you
pretty
go.
great.
The Foam
It's like
Pro-
Dane giving a 95 out of 10. 95% out of 10.
98.5
98.5%
out of 10
the
confidence.
and the,
Yeah.
the little
Competency.
Foam Pro
Oh,
2.
competence.
Is it the 2 or
Yeah,
what?
not
the
good.
two, yeah.
The Foam Pro 2, that is a great one as well. I carry 2 of them in the bus. The
Yeah.
Foam Pro 12, we carry 1 in the bus. The old IK9
Yeah.
foamer, we carry in the bus as well.
Yeah.
They're all great. Having spoken to the people from IK, there's really no need for the blue one.
Okay.
Yeah, the Viton seals and the
Yeah,
there's-
exactly.
pros
They're
are
so
perfect.
solid.
It's great
with-
marketing on their part,
Yeah.
but it's
It's a
not necessary.
Good color. They have a food version as well.
Yes.
I couldn't make
I
that
can't
up.
wait to put soda
I know
in
when
that
you
one.
want to spray
What do you-
food
Can you,
at
like,
people.
put
and
olive
it's
oil
just-
in there?
I'm gonna ask if I can get
Exactly,
one
for
solely
cooking.
for Diet
I would
Pepsi.
love that, actually.
Just pump
So-
it up.
Here's your oatmeal.
Yeah.
I just be kicking it back in my desk, just squirting.
Oh no.
So I
No,
have.
no.
No.
I really did
Liquid
try to
diet.
think of ways that I could incorporate the IK food into anything that I do. But like, so their product shots are on cooking steaks on a grill, right?
Oh,
yeah.
And they're kind of squirting it with
barbecue sauce.
something, but
Foam
like
and barbecue
but
sauce
you
on
can
that
see
bad
that
boy.
there is a flame coming through a larger
Well, it's because
flame.
it's gasoline.
Well, so
No, so I use a sprayer
okay,
when I cook my steaks sous vide,
you correct, yes,
and then I'll put them on the barbecue.
correct, yeah,
But I actually don't like the barbecue. I use a Searsol,
okay,
but I put a bit of oil on the steak,
you see,
and I spray the oil on,
ah,
and then use the Searsol to get that nice sear on the steak.
okay, well then that would make sense.
So
for
he doesn't use
an-
gasoline to.
No.
No.
sear steaks.
No.
All right.
Have a
Interesting.
weird aftertaste.
So Cam, we'll just put him down for maybe a 9.
Yeah.
Bait Addict says, also, Levi, definitely a different person. Just check that I emailed you from a Bait Addict account.
I love that I got him on the run.
Yeah,
got
yeah.
him worrying. He had to go back and check
Yeah.
just to make sure. Like,
Should we leak his name anyway?
Here we go. So we have Brandon Brock says, a steam cleaner works best for seatbelts I have found. Okay.
Yeah, they do.
Good. Yeah, they were great. G. Davis says, Ivan, are there family-friendly stories you can tell from the early 80s when you were a single man with a Greyhound
my
party
God.
bus?
I did not have a Greyhound party bus at that time. I had Volvo station wagons.
oh,
Same difference.
Yeah.
he was like a young Dane Hennon.
And as far as family friendly, no.
Fletch Fletcher says, trying to step up on my extraction game. Can you point me towards a good resource for tips, tricks, techniques, and products? Thanks again, y'all.
Yes, easily. Don't buy an extractor.
Oh.
Okay, so if you're doing fabric, seats, a nice thick wool pad on your rotary, and some fabric cleaner of choice is excellent. You're not going to get your foam wet. You're not going to damage the seat heaters. You're not going to damage the occupancy sensors in the seats, all those things. As far as carpets go, there are brush attachments you can use. Again, with a great fabric cleaner, you're going to save a lot of time. The less water you put in a vehicle, the less water you have to take out of a vehicle.
Yeah, cool. And here we go. So Hans Closen says, also, Mr. Barkle had set me up with a TRC dealer account. Yay. Nice. Very cool. Bait Addict says, Ivan, when I started detailing nearly 9 years ago, the first polishes compounds I used were Optimum Compound and Polish 2. Compound 2 and Polish 2. Awesome products. Are those still being made, or did you guys switch to the Hyper line entirely?
I don't know. I don't work for the company anymore. But when I was about to retire, there was speak of discontinuing the cream style polishes.
Yep. Okay. And we have there's the notice there that this is your 5-minute warning because it got
That
weird.
was half an hour ago.
Okay.
Half
And
hour,
then, what part of the car do you hate to detail the most?
The Jeep.
The Jeep.
Okay, just the Jeep
Yeah.
entirely as one thing. Dane pretty much just hates doing anything detailing himself in general.
Oh, I said what part of the car, not what car.
What part of the car? What part of the car, Dane?
Part of the car, I would probably say anywhere you have to like do a gymnastics trick just to like fit in to do something. Otherwise, you got to remove seats and stuff, and you don't want to be doing
That's where
that.
studying ergonomics comes in.
Yeah. So ergonomics man over here knows his stuff when it comes to
As
that.
far as the part of the car in general, I say the headliner.
All right.
You get
Morgan.
dripped on.
Yeah.
I would say my wheels because they're a lot. They're pretty intricate and they don't stay clean because they suck.
Okay, Levi.
I didn't
Least
even hear
favorite-
the question.
Least favorite part to detail on the car?
Oh,
Other than the Jeep.
Oh, I just remembered.
I own a Jeep, by the way. Just saying.
least favorite car to detail.
I wonder
least
if
favorite
he'll
part
say
of the
it.
car.
Oh,
part
part
of
of
the
the
car.
car.
I wonder if he'll say it because I just thought of it and it's. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So
down.
the one thing I don't like doing is the front windshield on a minivan.
Okay.
Oh,
Just
Pontiac Transport.
The extort.
Yeah.
The exterior.
Dust
That was the one
Buster
thing. That
van.
was the only thing I didn't like about my van
Yeah.
was cleaning that front windshield.
No,
Everything
wha-
else, I'm happy.
What it
with.
was, and remember, guys, I'm like Mr. Big hatchback wagon type guy, so I don't normally like sedans.
F-body Camaros.
The thing about sedans
Back
that
windows.
don't have an opening back there is that parcel shelf between the rear window and the behind the rear seats. That parcel shelf.
You're right. It is
That area
yeah.
sucks to
Yeah.
get to, at least
Yeah.
in terms of like you're craning your
Yeah,
neck. And you're
back
trying
windows are not fun.
It's not
or
fun.
big front windows.
Yeah,
So,
but
Yeah.
those are
also
my
like fabric on top
inside.
of stuff.
Yeah. That's
Pain.
You were,
Total
You were
pain.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea, Dave.
And you?
I used to have a lot of those problems before I bought the Invisible Glass Easy Reach tool,
Ah.
which has changed my. So I actually really do like using that
It
on
is
the
cool,
interior
yeah.
glass.
Fun
It is.
fact:
It
in
is.
2004, I walked around SEMA looking for a company that created something like that because I had an idea in my head, and I thought, I wonder if I could find somebody that makes that, and I could buy that from them.
Yeah.
And nobody
Did you say
made
2004?
it. 2004, Morgan. How
Yep.
old were you?
6.
Ah!
Yeah.
Old enough to be her father, and
Yep.
so
I was a 24-year-old male out on the prowl with my dad and my uncles at SEMA.
very
I'm
cool.
almost old enough to be her grandfather.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
So, Pro tip: buy a wagon or an SUV or a
No, you don't have to,
hatchback,
Dane, you don't
because
have
then
to
you
buy
just
a
pop
V-
up
no,
the rear
you
hatch.
don't
and
Not
then you
everyone
can
needs
clean
to
it
take
super
toilets
easily.
We
with
don't
junkyard.
have to
It's
buy
not
have money for
necessary.
Buy a convertible.
Or do that.
Yeah.
He's like, if you don't like doing windows, just buy
Buy
a
a different
different car.
car.
Buy another one.
Yeah.
If you
Once
don't,
your windows are dirty, just trade it in for something else.
if you don't have a hammer to break your toilet with,
Just go
you
buy a
just go
truck.
buy a truck.
Yeah.
If you're buying a coupe or a sedan with a trunk, you're
Well,
doing it wrong.
Dane, that's why people buy Ford C-Maxes.
Yeah.
Then
I
they
would
don't have
rather
to-
I would
then
rather
they
be
get-
dead
actually
than
great.
drive
Then
a
they get the
hatchback.
best of everything.
Did anybody actually buy a C-Max?
Dane did.
Okay, never mind.
He owns one. He
I
owns
actually
it still
love it
to this day.
It's great. I love it.
The only car he's kept for more than 2 months.
Because it's so perfect. He loves driving it.
Yeah.
He does spirited driving on the weekends
I've
because he
never
loves
s-
the battery assist.
I've never seen him with the C-Max.
Because it's
If you look back on our channel, you will find videos of
I actually
Ivan
did a
working
vi-
on
I
He
actually
did a
my
video with the
C-Max.
Z-Max.
I didn't know it was yours at the time.
Now he knows.
Yeah.
Okay, so getting
That
into
was the
this.
full-blown drying aids video.
Yeah.
Okay, getting back in, we have to, guys. We have to. Chris Marcial says, "So if I mix ONR and OptiClean, do I get a more lubrication with more cleaning, or am I just being silly?"
Wasting product.
You're wasting product. I like using OptiClean as a
Pre-soak.
pre-soak for ONR in the winter.
Yeah.
Aaron, what are your thoughts on the new virus going around? Would it have an effect on the towel shipping since traveling will be restricted very soon? Aaron, so we do have a factory in China, but the only thing that will restrict the shipping is the fact that we may not have a lot of folks at the factory working, but we haven't had any issues at the moment. So everything seems to be going good. Everything's working. We purchased a load of towels prior to, and I mean,
Well
like
in advance.
10 containers worth,
Yeah,
40-foot containers worth of
There's
towels
a lot of towels here.
Yes.
that we have in stock here and in storage so that we can be ready for detailing season so we don't have to worry about it. So we were doing that preemptively for ourselves to be ready for customers.
Because of Chinese New Year.
Not
and
even
for
knowing
Chinese
that this
New Year,
whole other
where-
thing was going to be
well,
happening.
a lot of people
yeah.
don't understand, but at Chinese New Year, they literally will shut the country down. The factories, they take 2 weeks off. And many companies let their employees take those 2 weeks off, and they close the company down, and everybody goes home for the holidays to spend time with their families. It's a really neat practice. It'd be awesome if we could do something similar to that. Take 2
Yeah.
weeks off and just hang out,
Yeah.
go home, spend
to
time.
enjoy life.
Yeah, just
you
enjoy
know, the
yourselves.
little
Ring in the new
moments.
year with the family.
Yeah.
But what that causes is a very big drop off in production for those 2 weeks, and so we always get stuck where we just run out right before, and we're waiting to get that last shipment, and it's just. So we thought this year we're going to be planned for it. We're going to get as much product in as possible,
And it
which
worked well.
worked out well because
Yeah.
now the coronavirus hit, and it's like I said, it's not causing any delays at the moment, but you never know. So
All right, so we got Krishan says, "Hi all, I use ONR
think
with
that's-
Optimum."
Krishan Ramading Dong,
Nope.
Don't.
Ramadan.
No.
Ramadine, nah.
Hi all, I use ONR with Optimus Steamer for mobile detailing. Any thoughts on that?
Great. Works well. Patrick Barkel from Rag Company Europe actually started his career doing that.
Yep.
Added ONR to his Optimus steamer, and then eventually just got rid of the Optimus steamer.
Yep.
All right. Philip Death says, "Thanks, it's a name." It is.
That is
It
a
is.
name.
You are-
Isn't it?
No
Philip
question.
Death.
We got KM saying, piggybacking on the power clean and salt comment, Ivan, does that mean using ONR during winter as a contact wash isn't removing all the salt from the paint? Would you suggest a pre-soak in MDR?
Correct. It is not removing all the salt, and soap will not remove the salt either. And using a ONR MDR mix pre-soak, great idea.
Yep.
Okay. And we have Yoshi says, does Ivan have any solutions for cleaning diesel soot off paint? Can I use Power Clean diluted, or is that not recommended? Car will be coated soon.
No, that's totally. He lives his life
Yeah.
that way every
Yeah.
week. He's cleaning
Yeah.
diesel soot off.
Go
the car.
back and watch the bus wash.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, Power Clean will work wonderfully for that. Start at a 10-to-1 dilution and work your way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So start at 10-to-1. Normally that will do it. Foam it on with your IK foamer, and then let it dwell. The IK foamer, as the bubbles break, what happens is you're putting fresh solution on the surface every time a bubble breaks.
Yep. Bait Addict says, "Great question, KM. Looking to hear the answer too." Okay. Alkaline top hat.
Well, you missed it.
Rag Company says it is now.
You get
4
Wilson 502.
Yeah, we just did
Oh,
that.
oh,
one.
sorry. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. Okay. Yep.
And then Alkaline Top Hat. I know you've already talked about how O&R and N914 compare, but did you say whether N914 can be foamed?
No, it can't.
Wilson's 502 on Ivan's personal YouTube channel. Oh, he said Ivan actually
for the
uses the
clean
video.
glass,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was back. Aaron, stop talking about food. You're making me hungry.
No.
KM, or would an OptiClean pre-soak work better for winter? Either one just depends on how much salt is on the road.
Yeah, the OptiClean will not remove the salt. You need something that's going to break down minerals.
Yeah, and we don't have we don't have salt here.
No.
So that's why I use the OptiClean. So find out what your city or township uses.
gonna
Danny
be going
Israel,
down.
can crystal sealant be used on black textured plastic? Will it add richness back into the black? I have a CarPro Pearl at washes applied. Yeah, it will, but if it's already faded and damaged and destroyed, you need to do.
Yeah, it wouldn't restore it, but it would deepen it like a sealant would do, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's not going to
anti-gloss.
it's not going to like
Gloss.
it's not going to stain it or turn it white. If anything, it would just make it darker and obviously
Yeah.
hydrophobic. So
It's not solution finish.
yeah,
Right.
if we can scroll
Scroll
down,
down,
Tim.
Tim.
I think Tim died.
Oh no.
No, he's
there
back.
he
All
is.
right, I'll get
Tim
his
is
back.
alive
His
and
reanimated
well.
corpse is
Woo! That was
moving the.
close.
Okay.
All right, Alkaline Trio. I actually buy LaCroix, though not the Yvonne variety.
I'd love to get a commission off that,
Yeah.
but I don't. No family relations.
Fletcher says, all right, second half stuff. Dane, congrats on getting out of that Montero. I drive a second gen every day. Now, everyone humor me and check out a JDM Mitsubishi Pajero Evo. Dream JDM.
Believe me, that
What's
was one of the
yours?
things that led me to getting a Montero in the first place, was knowing that the Pajero Evo existed.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a dope car.
Danny Israel, what's
Or
Yvonne's...
truck, rather.
Was Yvonne the first to foam a TRC member and with Power Clean of all things? Oh, because he foamed us
May
all.
have been, yeah.
Why did you stand downwind?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Andy White. Hey, everyone. Nice to see Ivan back at TRC again.
Hey.
Love to be here.
Alkaline Top Hat. I saw a luxury wood console. Is the TRC sponsoring Dane's VIP build of the B3000? How low will he go?
I need curtains on the windows, don't I?
Oh man, I can't
Little
wait till he lowers
doilies
that
and the-
truck.
The
I know.
VIP.
I'm trying. Let's see if we can get everybody email Dane at the Rag Company
Oh, boy.
with links to the DJM 4.5 lowering kit available for his Mazda B3000.
There you
Whoever
go.
gets the first reply gets a prize.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not going to happen.
No. You get a spritz of Anthony's cologne.
Yeah, that's not a prize.
Oh, that's a punishment.
JD, I miss Brandon Brack, but 6-speed manual. Okay. Alkaline Trio, Yvonne, when they try to tow your bus, did you just laugh and drag the tow truck until they gave up?
It takes a special tow truck to pull that.
Craig and Sanitas, I used O&R and the big red sponge in my car a day after it has rained. It didn't clean as well as when the car is dirty from airborne contaminants and Southern California dust. Am I doing it wrong? No. Don't know what.
Yeah,
It's probably like what we get, that sticky, dirty rain.
Dirty rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A pre-rinse may be in order.
Yep. Hans Closen, what will the price be for the Udos?
Okay, so the price for the Udo is $6.99 US. Now, there's also a try before you buy program that's $125. They'll ship you out the Udos and 2 pads. With that, you have 2 weeks to try it out. After that, you have 2 choices. Keep it, and for $579, it's yours. So a total of $704, or send it back. It costs you $125 to use the tool for 2 weeks. They paid for the shipping there and back, and you get to keep the 2 pads. I don't think anybody's going to be sending it back.
There you
Oh,
go.
well, think of it in terms like what's a tool rental cost? It's a great deal, actually,
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
you break it down.
Yoshi Wilson 502, his bus is not paint, it's bed liner and aluminum.
Correct.
Bait Addict Hans, I think it's above 500 USD. Expensive, but you're getting 5 polishers effectively. So then it's more of a bargain. Correct.
Truth.
It's an
KM, go ahead.
Oh, well, you have to look at it as an investment.
Yep. Hans is big into investments. He has
Good.
purchased all of our memorabilia.
Yeah.
That broken
yeah,
claw
he-
toy will be worth
he
something someday.
He bought the KXK Andy Ward kit with
Oh,
Obama and
Yeah.
Hey, and thanks for
iPatch.
supporting that
Yes.
Yeah.
charity, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And he had it shipped all the way to the Netherlands,
yep,
despite
had
the
it
fact
shipped
we
all
said
the way to
U.S.
the-
only.
Yeah. He snuck in at the
Yeah.
last minute. Then,
KM says, can you give some examples of how each throw is used, why you'd want to polish that is capable of a wide range? I mean, I don't even know where to start with. I mean,
Well-
basically, you have, instead of picking up different tools to get into different areas or having a tool that maybe not.
I can make it simple.
Okay, make
Okay.
it simple.
So you're polishing on the vehicle, and you notice that you have some sort of issue. That issue can be, if you're using the rotary, you might have swirling. If you're using the DA, you might have micro marring or
Yeah.
haze.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of switching pads, instead of switching compound, you can switch the stroke length to better fit that pad and that paint.
Well, it's another troubleshooting technique that you can do immediately right
Exactly.
there on the same polisher.
Yeah, without getting up,
Yeah.
Yeah.
plugging in another polisher, putting a pad
So-
on it, blah, 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 blah.
I have a Rupes 15 and 21 at home. I use them a lot
Mm-hmm.
for different purposes. I like the 21 for bigger panels
Yeah.
because I like being able to get through stuff. I like the 15 for a little tighter stuff because it continues the oscillation, so I can get into little tighter areas. And then I usually use one of our 3-inch 12 millimeter polishers for tighter close-knit stuff, or I'll borrow the mini, our nano hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
What do you use, Anthony?
So I bounce between three different. I have the hybrid, the Nano, I have the little baby one.
Mhm.
But then I have my 15 Mark II. I have my 21 Mark II.
Yep.
And then I have my old faithful, my
Porter cable,
my
6424.
7424,
7424.
Yeah.
but with a 3-inch backing plate specifically. That thing
Yep.
does not. That is stuck.
But it's an 8 millimeter throw with
It
a
is an
3-inch
8 millimeter
backing.
throw, and it is stuck on that thing. It does not go anywhere because it's just like I would like to have the little 75 mini. I would, but
Yeah.
essentially I'm getting the same result, right? And
Right.
I think if I really wanted to stick around, stick for cheap, I can Porter cable,
But the
Harbor
point
Freight,
is, you
whatever you want to
use
do.
different machines because of the
Oh.
different stroke patterns.
Absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
And
Which
so
is what I do too.
Yeah.
Which this has everything. That's
yeah,
It's like I use a 21 for cutting and a rotary for finishing.
nice. Okay.
So now you can cut and finish
Same tool.
in one machine.
All right, so here we go.
Morgan, what do you got? You've got a 15,
I do.
and then you
Mark III.
and then you also borrow the mini and the little nano hybrid and the 3-inch.
So
I
hold
did.
this. How much heavier is this than the Mark III? Because somebody's asking. Just hold that.
It's heavier.
A little heavier. Okay.
Half a pound.
All right. Well, that's that.
I'm not very
Dane,
strong.
what do you polish with?
I have a
Whoever-
15 Mark III, or Mark II, actually.
Mark
yeah.
II 15, built
But,
by Dane Hennon.
Built by me and then used by you guys in a lot of our videos,
Yeah,
actually.
we put a lot of. I think it's at my house. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Yeah.
outside.
It's
in the-
it's here. It gets used. Yeah.
Yeah.
But not by me.
Any vibration, will it make my arms numb like the old Porter cable I used half a decade ago?
No.
Okay.
And what's the warranty? It's a 1-year warranty. Now, the service network is actually established, and they have parts already, even though the machine isn't out.
Wow.
Just to give
Cool.
you an idea.
Cool. Will ONR MDR pre-soak strip protection?
Depends on the protection. It will affect a wax.
It's safe for your paint, Yoshi. And then G. Dave says, Dane, please elaborate on your own lotion regimen.
Hashtag squishy and squint.
Admittedly, if you haven't seen my complexion, I'm not really a big lotion user. I should be, but I'm not.
Well, so what do you do as far as aging prevention and things like that?
Oh no, I just age.
Oh.
Anthony, what do you use?
I have Irish Spring at home, and that's about it.
What do I use?
Yeah.
I just after I get out of the shower, I just quickly grab some lotion and I just throw it on my face and my elbows and my knees and then my hands, and then I just
What type of lotion specifically?
so lately, thanks for asking, Levi. I have a couple different ones that I've been using.
Excellent.
I use one that starts with a C. I don't know what the heck.
Cetaphil.
C. Yep.
Cremo?
So Cetaphil, right? And then, but then if I want to add some fragrance to that, typically what I'll do is use my Bath and Body Works men's line
Wow.
of shea butter.
Oh, wow.
So
Delightful.
the Teakwood's fantastic.
Mhm.
I also have some type of bergamot waters scent of some
Oh,
sort.
delightful.
That is wonderful.
And
I'm
when
glad to
you're-
see our
and-
viewership
and-
is actually down by 20
and
people
part
since you
of the-
started talking.
And part of the travel, your travel regimen.
Oh, I don't. My travel regimen is very specific. It is a Nivea ferment.
Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
Yes,
Nivea.
delightful.
Yeah.
Bait addict. Oh, weird. You didn't see the full comment. I
Oh.
explained what I meant about the man. It just drops off. It's strange.
Yeah, I don't know.
Trap cracker.
Okay.
Yvonne, if you had to do a detail,
But,
Whoa, we're moving around.
where
It's
are we?
moving.
Okay. Trap Cracker. Yvonne, if you had to do a detail with 4 products, what would you choose?
Okay, McKee's N914 to start. The future Big Sponge.
Okay.
We won't say what color it is. And then a polish. It's a prototype, so you don't know what it is. But there's a new polish that will be hitting the market soon that is a lot of fun. And other than that, for protection, I like a coating.
There you go.
I'm not going to specify any coating here.
Okay.
But,
Just a coating.
Yeah, a coating.
Okay.
Done.
And it's probably your best mix for profitability as well.
Okay.
Hmm.
Bait Addict says, I believe it's because the twist loops are more dense, which causes your fingers to not snag on each of the loops as much. The FTW, as an example, has really dense loops, but I guess the GSM may not affect it. The density of the loops. So the GSM of the loops of the FTW.
The GSM is density.
Yeah, that
it's
is
a
density.
measure of density.
Grams
But the
or square
loops,
meters?
the size of the loops is different. It's a factor of the construction.
The loop of the FTW and the gauntlet are the same.
The
Aren't they?
loop of the FTW. The loop of the FTW.
No, it's tighter.
No, correct. So the loop
FTW
of the
is more
FTW and the loop of the twist and shout are exactly the same.
They are
right?
exactly the same.
The loop on the double twistress and the loop on the gauntlet are the same.
Exactly.
Right. So there is in between our Korean twists, there are 2 different styles of density on loops there, right?
Yes.
And so.
Because what we've found is twist is becoming its own. There are so many
Oh,
different
man, yeah,
levels
There's a variety.
of twists.
There's like dreadlock twists. There's all sorts of different twists that you can get. You can
so
get
many.
such a long loop. You can get such a short loop. You can have those loops be loops within loops that are tied in a certain way. It's kind of strange.
Yep. Where are we at? KM, you cut me so deep, Anthony.
There's
You
a
cut him deep.
comment lower that will add to
Yeah.
that. But
Hans says, will IK be making lids soon? Fingers crossed, Hans.
gosh,
We'll find out.
That's a battle that I have been fighting for. You have no
We're
idea.
just trying
Years.
to encourage it as a good
Yep.
idea because there is demand for it.
Alkaline Top Hat. So there's an IK sprayer specifically for me, and you sold me the regular one? I'm doomed. Bait Addict, both are obviously paint safe. 70-30 versus 80-20 is also not a compelling argument of a paint safe towel. I've used plenty 80-12s on soft clear with no marring. Just comes down to the yarn.
Man.
Okay, Bait Addict, just so you know, yes, you're not wrong on that, but it is rule of thumb that an 80-20 towel will mar soft paint, where a 70-30 won't, because of the.
And that's a very that's a very generalized rule.
Yeah.
But
There's so
but you
many
have to
different
think about
ones.
how many 80-20 blend towels are out there, right? So you
And
can't,
you're right, it does come
so
down to the yarn, but it
it-
also depends on the weave too.
Yeah. So correct. It is also the weave as well, because I mean, like for example, we know that our pearls use a premium yarn, and we know that those are also 80-20 blend, but those are a coating removal towel or a coating leveling towel, and they are absolutely safe on the softest of finishes. But we can't speak
But
for
that's because of the
every,
weave.
and we can't speak for every other 80-20 towel out there, or at least
Yeah.
what they're claiming is an 80-20, and it's.
I think Bait Addict's just going to have to drive down here. and
Seriously,
hang out with
like,
us.
come here,
we
we
can
keep
we
talking
can
about
we
it.
can dive deep into this
we
if
can
you
take
want
him
to.
down that rabbit hole.
And
He'll
but-
come
and
up
it's
for
a
air.
very deep.
but honestly, I
deep
think once he
hole.
learns all this, though, I think that he just honestly will probably give up detailing because he'll know too
Probably,
much and he'll
yeah.
be like, I can't do this anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a miracle we still do it.
Alkaline Trio says, how many signatures are there for WoWo's
Eau de
No.
Day, quick
Day
detailer.
Quick Detailer?
We don't know.
Not a lot. KM says, I have a dilution ratio for ONR and MDR in a 32-ounce IK Alky. It's blue.
Okay, so the dilution ratio is your 30 ounces of water, 1/8 of an ounce of ONR,
Okay.
or if you prefer, you can also 4 milliliter, 1 milliliter, sorry.
Mine is,
1 milliliter, and then 1 ounce of MDR added to that, or 30 milliliters. And the color of your IK sprayer makes no difference.
Well, in that one case, it was meant to be more alkaline friendly, but it's
and by the way, MDR is not alkaline; it's acidic.
cool, perfect. So then just use the black
Yeah.
multi-spread.
Yeah, you don't have to use the blue and KM.
Andy White says, Ivan, the sanding option on the Udos, would the sanding option on the Udos be considered like what we used to call a feather edge, feather edger back in my day?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yep.
And Baydax says, awesome about the service network, Ivan. Will us Canadians be paying a lot to have the tool shipped and serviced, or will have anything? We'll have anything there.
Service network in Canada as well.
There you
Wow.
go. JWL, Will Santos, Huddersfield, England. Why isn't the polisher cordless? That seems to be where the industry's headed. Thoughts? Question mark.
Well, it's actually not quite headed in that direction yet.
Yeah.
There will be possibly a cordless version. That's why this one is the E. There might be a C at some point. Dane is hoping for the TS version, or two-stroke.
Just waiting for that gas.
Just likes revving that
Yeah.
I just want to pull it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
starts polishing with a motor.
Hey guys, I'm finally polishing. It just took a gas-powered polisher for me to do
Why
it.
would you do? It really smells. There's a lot of
No, that's why I like it.
oil all
I just
over
see
the
her sniffing
paint.
gas all day.
But Lake Country Power Tools, they've invested a lot into this. This is their first model of many to come.
Yeah.
There you go. Christian 5i, nice to see Morgan this week.
Thanks, Christian, for
Hey.
Nice
chiming
of you
in.
to say that.
Bait Addict says, oh yeah, 100% about that. Not disagreeing on that, but you guys still have very high quality 80/20 towels. I'm being specific to high quality 80/20 towels. Baiters Anonymous generally only buy high quality TRC
Oh,
towels.
we know, brother. we know.
Well,
we know.
Yeah.
we appreciate that.
They're a discerning bunch.
We
Yeah,
just
I
think
hear
that because what we're trying to cover is that everybody can see this Q&A right now, right? So
Yeah.
these questions that you're asking, for the people that may not may not be as educated on microfiber, right? They see this kind of stuff and they think like oh my gosh, well, these towels that I saw maybe at the store or whatever it was
Yeah.
that said 80/20, these are safe. I will use
They
these.
take it in
And then
generalities. It's like a blanket
Exactly,
thing.
and
Yeah.
we can't speak for the yarn users in
No.
that. And
And-
so this is public information, so we have to kind of be careful on what we put
Yeah.
out there.
Yep.
And Levi, just so you know, we got another hint on B8 Addicts.
Yeah,
Identity.
I
He's
got a
saying
lot
Canadians.
of Canadian.
Oh, I already
talk
knew
there.
that. He's from
Yeah.
British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
What
Very
the
good.
heck? You
Then
know
why
who he
aren't you
is.
here
He's-
on Saturday?
No, because he's told us that many times. Remember when we were talking with the twins, our old Grand Ambassadors?
Yeah.
Mm.
We kept talking about them coming down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Bait Addict was saying he could easily make it down with the Minister of Fresh and all the other Canadians
Right.
Yeah.
could cruise down and come stay at Dane's house.
There you
Yeah.
And we
Oh.
were like, of course, like Dane's got a kitchen table someone could sleep on.
Dude,
I've
someone
got
could
an
sleep
extra
on
bed.
his-
It's called
Yeah.
the back of the
like,
B3000.
literally
It's a pickup
Dane
bed.
attracts
Pickup bed.
Canadians.
Right.
Like literally Canadians flock to Dane.
They
and we
all
have
wanted
no
to,
idea
so
why.
we kept talking about it. And then
They
Bait Addict
do,
kept
don't
saying
they?
he'd probably rather get a hotel now that he thought about it. But everybody else was on board to stay at Dane's house.
Okay.
So
Ricky Clone, coming in from Puerto Rico, he is here to say, darn it. Oh, dang it.
Yeah.
Missed half the podcast while setting up the stuff for the next giveaway. So you guys want to go check out his giveaway, one
Yep.
mess at a time, on Instagram. So he does some awesome giveaways. So he's one of our Grand Ambassadors for Q1.
Yep.
So go and check him out because he's really involved in this. He's doing a fan-freaking-tastic job. He loves WoWo stuff. He loves Rad Company stuff, and just really represents us to the best of his ability. It's amazing. And so he is doing. He's done one giveaway, and I think he's doing his second giveaway. So go to one mess at a time on Instagram. So he's getting stuff ready. Says, guys, have you experienced with Malco products, specifically the Cherry Flash Wax and their new coating? Spent some time talking to them at the last week's expo, but it seems that not many local folks have tried the products out.
Malco's a good company. They've been around for a very, very long
Yep.
time. They are really working on trying to stay fresh and good in the market. They spend a lot of time training and focusing on making sure that they're always innovating and always changing
Yeah.
up some of their stuff. So it's all a good brand. There's
Yeah.
Yeah.
we don't when the Malco John from Malco stops in Boise, he always stops by to say hello and hang
Yeah.
out with us.
Yeah.
So
So
Yeah.
CJ Byrne 27. The TRC guy with the lotion regime also owns and drives a Grom. Coincidence?
I don't wanna
I
slip
just
off.
don't see.
It's not a
You
coincidence
wouldn't
at all.
wanna-
So you know,
Slide right off
it's
the seat.
hashtag Grom things, right? It's just one of those. It's part of being an
He
owner.
calls it a motorcycle.
I mean, I
call it
drove
a
a
scooter.
Miata and I took that heat. So
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go. So, for sure. I didn't think about that. Anyone who is watching, please don't go to a regular store and think that they're the same.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
Yeah, Bait, that's why we go over these things, because there are a lot of details that
If
people
you want to
don't consider.
come, please.
Mr.
Yeah.
847 and the ZL1.
Our Grand Ambassador from 2019, Omar, killing it. And so he is also...
He wants to go down.
Dude, he is also a great feed. So go and
Yeah.
check him out on Instagram. He's got some beautiful cars. So we have Bait Addict says, yep, definitely not staying at Dane's house. C-Max equals no-go.
Yeah.
Dude, that thing's a generator on wheels. It's easy to just take
JWL.
it around.
Thanks. The Flex Rotary and DA cordless polishers are reigning alone in Europe, but at $800, they're not for everyone. We need more options.
There will be more options.
Coming. Bait Addict. Also, Ivan, I went to Montreal a few months ago to visit my partner. Really nice, but the cars are filthy. Also, I'm sure you've had the Portuguese chicken there to die for alongside the poutines.
What?
Yes,
There's
yes,
Portuguese
and yes.
chicken?
How do
Where?
you not know
You've
what
never.
that is?
How do you not know about
You're
that?
Portuguese.
No, I'm very Portuguese, but I've never had Portuguese chicken.
It was weird. You took your DNA test and it was like 97% Portuguese.
No, it was like 50%. Like, well, technically like 40.
I mean, if a relative cooked you chicken, that's Portuguese chicken.
And it would be Portuguese. If your dad cooked you chicken, that'd be Portuguese chicken.
Yeah.
My man.
I don't know if that works like that.
I'm pretty sure it
necessarily.
does.
But anyways.
Ricky Cologne, and by the way, I'm already looking for tickets to hopefully go on site in the next month or so.
Beautiful.
Yeah, coming up to the B-Town, staying at Dane's.
Well, I want to make sure that we have something fun going on, Ricky.
I do too.
Because I want
I
to
do
make
too.
sure that
That's
if you
always
bored
have
out of his
something
mind.
fun going on.
email Levi or call Levi before
Yeah.
you come up, so we'll set you up with the,
Yeah.
the true experience, and hopefully
Work
our
something out.
studio
The Luke
will
Berge
be
experience.
close to done by then.
Close. Only this time it's Dane's turn.
Oh.
Bait Addict. Use coupon code 50Levi to get charged an additional $50 for buying Kirkland Microfiber. You're right. That's the best
Worth
coupon
it.
code you could possibly get.
Yeah.
Dino Grafolic, will Udos be available in Europe at which sellers?
Yes, it will
Which
be.
sellers?
And I don't know.
Frightened of which sellers?
Yeah.
Basements that witches occupy.
I don't want to be in a basement.
The witch cellars. You know,
Yeah.
they sell wine.
Dino, you just gotta go on. Stay tuned to the LC Power
LCPowerTools.com.
Tools website. Check it out. Ricky, also my wife is watching the podcast with me now. Progress.
Hey!
Right.
Welcome, Senor.
Yeah, Ricky's wife. We think Ricky's awesome. He contributes a lot to this show.
He puts out great Instagram
and he,
posts.
and he probably
He's
talks
doing-
about it all the time. And you're probably
Yeah.
like, "Why do you watch those guys?" Well, he does an awesome job.
I was proud that he asked for my autograph. On his
Hey,
own.
we're proud to
Yeah.
have him as a Grand Ambassador. He provides a lot to the community, gives us tons of posts to reshare. He has a really awesome M, and people freaking love that
Yeah.
thing. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Now, this next question, I'm going to read.
Okay.
Ooh.
And we only have 6 minutes left in the podcast. This might be the last
If you have
one.
to go over, you
Here
can
we go.
over.
Joe
Okay.
Wetzel coming in hot.
Yes.
Vigor Auto Detailing. Hey, all you lovely people. And yes, they are. Ivan, notice how he singles me out. Lovely people and then Ivan.
And then this guy.
Do you think it's wrong for a detailer to expect $100 an hour and earn $100,000 a year? People think I'm crazy. You are not crazy. Now, yes, $100 an hour is a little low. I was at a 125 at my shop. That being said, we are business owners. Does the restaurateur make less than $100 an hour? No. Does the owner of the garage, the mechanic, what do they make? They're making more than $100 an hour as well around here, and where you're at as well. Your rent is not any less expensive than the mechanics. Your electricity is not less expensive. Your taxes are not less expensive. Your marketing is probably even more than the mechanics. So, no, it is not out of line to earn that. Now, traditionally, detailers have been seen as a subclass, and the IDA is changing that, and the IDA is a big part of making all detailers become entrepreneurs. So go from D, the detailer, to an E, to an entrepreneur. And if you look at it as an entrepreneur, you have to make at least $100 an hour, and making $100,000 a year is not a big deal. In all of my classes, I ask the detailers, what are the last 5 cars you detailed? And most of the times, I get BMWs, Audis, no Groms.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's like a 5-minute job.
Yeah. BMWs, Audis, Mercedes, high-end vehicles, Lincolns, Navigators, whatever. Then you ask the detailers, what do you drive? I drive a Hyundai Elantra. I drive a Grom. I drive a C-Max. Anyways, they can't, for the major part, afford the vehicles that they detail. Now, on the other hand, you ask them, the people who own these cars, what do they do for a living? Oh, well, he owns a pizzeria. He owns a salon.
He's a mechanic.
He's a mechanic. they're all or for the major part, the people that own high-end vehicles are entrepreneurs. As a detailer, you are an entrepreneur. Now, telling your customer that you're charging them $100 an hour, maybe not the wisest decision.
Yeah, don't tout it that way.
No, but being efficient, where you're actually making $100 an hour, as the customer thinks you're making $50 an hour, now you're winning.
Galaxy brain level thinking
and
right there.
Yeah, and an easy way for one that a lot of people they don't understand it. But Joe, I don't know if you have tattoos. I do, quite a few of them. But the tattoo shops have a minimum.
Yeah,
They don't do anything less than a certain amount.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because
By the time they get you on the table, make the invoice,
yeah,
blah, 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 blah.
they just have a minimum.
Yeah.
And it's like, it doesn't matter how big the piece is, how big of a, like if they're doing your whole back, here's the price. If they're going to do your arm, here's the price. If they're doing something that's going to take them 10 minutes or 15 minutes to do, it's a minimum price.
Exactly.
They don't ever drop below it. So my detail shop, I tried to bring that in. There was
Yeah.
now a shop minimum.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to wash a car for below this price. And
Exactly.
people would go, "Oh my gosh, that's a lot of money for a wash." Well,
Go to
it
a
didn't.
car wash.
Yeah, go to a car wash. It didn't matter because my guys were effective in getting the job done, so that I was still making what I needed to make, and I didn't have anything, $50 or $60 on my website
No.
pricing. It was, hey, a wash is $100.
Yeah.
That's it. Hand wash, $100, and we'll vacuum it.
Right.
But my guys could get it done in less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So effectively, I'm making $200, in that hour.
And you're weeding
if I'm
out the
getting them
price
done
shoppers.
quick enough.
Yeah. In
You
my
know?
shops, we did a $20 hand wash.
Yeah.
Well, that $20 hand wash took 8 minutes. That's more
And
than
then
$100
what?
an hour.
Right.
My favorite service was a wash, clay, and wax, and it's I think on the
Yep, we
YouTube
did
channel
it.
it's called the Amazing Detailing Trick. But
And that was a great one.
yeah, that was consistently $300 an hour. Customer was paying at least $99 for a wash, clay, and wax that took 20 minutes to do. They were blown away by the quality of the job. My employee didn't even break a sweat at 20 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and I could easily get 20 cars a day.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, and if
Yeah.
you think about if you had 3 customers that were scheduled for the day
Yeah,
and you got them all done and you told me this. You said, I've had people literally waiting for their Uber and my guys have pulled the car in and already finished it and it's sitting out there and the people are getting their Uber to go to work and they're looking and they're like, my car's done. And they call you back and go, is my car ready?
yeah.
And you would go out and look, oh, yep. You'd look it over and you go, yep, ready to go. And they're like, what? I didn't even leave your property and it was
because
done.
We would have 20, 30 people drop their car off at 8 o'clock in the morning, and those same 20 or 30 people pick it up at 5 o'clock at night.
Right.
They didn't know how long we spent on their car.
Right.
Now, we had one customer that was in a rush going to a funeral and asked, I need my car to look as best as it can, but in half an hour.
Yeah.
Sylvie said, not a problem. We'll get it done for you. 10 minutes later, the employees are pulling the car back out front. We washed, clayed, and waxed it, put 2 employees on it. Took
Yeah.
less than 10 minutes. As the customer is paying the $99 invoice, his reflection was, wait a minute, you charge more per hour than my lawyer does. Because at this point, he's seeing $600 an hour.
Right.
But there was 2 employees, so it actually works out to $300 an hour. Still close to lawyer territory. Sylvie said, yes, but your lawyer gave you a divorce. We gave you a shiny car.
There you go. But I had that happen. You were like, it's going to happen where you're going to have customers leave and you guys are going to be done with it. And I remember one day that happened
Yeah,
and Matt was like, literally just walked in and stood next to me
yeah.
and had one of the employees walking around in a circle because the customer hadn't left yet.
Yeah, exactly.
And he goes, should I give it back to them? And I was like, no, we'll just let them pretend like it. And we just
Yeah.
moved it to the other side of the building.
Yeah.
But the car was done. And
Yeah.
it was just going to sit for the rest of the day because they were leaving they were going to work,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
So-
at
Do
that
your
point,
thing.
we're charging for the service.
Right.
We're charging for
Not
our
the time.
knowledge. We're charging for our service. We're charging for what we're doing. When you go to buy a steak at a restaurant, do you ask them how they cook it? Do you ask them what knife they use to cut it? No. You're just buying that steak. You're expecting that steak on the plate, how you asked for it, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And some restaurants, that steak might be $100. Another restaurant, it might be $20. But that's what you're buying. They're buying our service. They're not buying our time.
Yeah.
Now, we are selling them time, though.
Yeah.
When you're selling something to a customer, a service to a customer, you are selling them time. Time is what they're buying from you. Time that they don't have to spend on their vehicle. Anybody can wash their own car. Anybody can polish their own car if they take the time to go on YouTube for an hour or two and figure it out and buy all the products that they need.
Yeah.
But they don't have the time to do it.
Anthony, when you painted your entire garage, how long did that take you?
Too long.
But if you would have paid professional painters to come in,
Oh, they would have been.
and
they
you would
been-
have shown up after work,
They would have been. They would have been. They would have started in the morning. They would have been done. Oh, hands down, done in the evening. But
Yeah.
instead, it took me two and a half
would
days.
you have been mad that it didn't take them 2.5 days to do your? Because that's what you would have done.
Well, yeah, I probably.
You
I-
wouldn't have
I-
been mad about that.
Well, if I think about it, if I would have, because I didn't know what the expectation would be.
Right.
Now that I know it took me 2.5 days, seeing those guys come in maybe with a gun, right, and spray it rather than roll it on, or if they had two guys rolling it on, then I say, gosh, wow, then that makes a lot more sense to have them do it in a
And
day.
in that 2 days' time, you could have made a lot more income, or
I could have
spent a
done
lot more time
pretty
with
much
Katie, or
anything
even ridden
else.
the Grom thingy.
Yeah,
If you
could have
wanted
enjoyed
to.
your time.
Yeah, and-
Exactly.
yeah,
As opposed to painting your garage.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what it boils down to.
All right, just a few left
Knock
here.
these out.
Bait
Alkaline. Yeah. So JWL, enjoyed the show. Want to watch back in the morning? It's midnight here in the UK. Catch you all next week.
Good night.
Bait Addict. Vigor Auto Detailing. I think that is a fair price if your work clearly shows why you charge that. I try to aim mine at around that, even though I do it on the side. Great job, guys.
Ooh,
Excellent.
alkaline top
Alkaline.
hat. Does
Does
ostentatious verbosity actually make one seem incorrigibly vacuous and oligus or intellectual? Well,
job.
let's see.
Ricky, lol, my wife just burst out laughing. Awesome. We're very glad. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Excellent.
Mike Williams, Ace Mobile Detailing, love you guys. Channel, thanks, Mike. Bait Addict, buy a used E46 M3 for the price of an Accord. Just be prepared for subframe cracks and Vanos issues. Shh.
Or buy used XKR and don't have those things. to
Bait
deal
Addict,
with.
thanks for the awesome Q&A. See you guys and gal. See you, Bait. We'll talk to you later.
And
All
are
right,
we at the
guys.
end of the list?
We are at the
That's
end of the
it.
list. At the end of the
Great.
show, it is 5:03.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, guys.
Thank you,
take us home.
everybody. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed all the wonderful advice. And, of course, having Ivan here, wonderful resource. And you can always find him. Where can people find you at?
Look for my name on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Snapchat. What's the other one? WhatsApp.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
not
not
on TikTok
TikTok.
yet,
Okay, okay.
but probably will eventually.
Ivan with a Y.
Yeah. YVANLACROIX.
And you can check out his bus, the LaCroix Cruiser, as well on Facebook and Instagram.
And you can
Correct,
check
yes.
out
And
us
all the
washing it yesterday.
Yeah.
Previous video.
On YouTube Live.
There you go.
That's right.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you
ya.
guys.